Herndon to lead off. Larry batting .280. Takes the fastball outside for a ball. The umpiring alignment. It is John Kibler behind the plate. Nick Colosi at first. Dick Stello at second as the breaking ball is low for ball 2. And Frank Foley at third base. Like the Italian hour here. Herndon takes the strike and it's 2-1. Herndon, Evans, and Clark. Larry with 1 home run, 30 RBIs. And the pitch on the way. Inside for ball 3. Jimmy Davenport coaches at first. Dave Bristol over at third. 338 down the lines here. 358 behind the outfielders. 371 up the alleys. 410 to straightaway center. 3-1 pitch. Herndon swings and misses. It's 3-2. Full count. To Larry leading off. 3-2 pitch to him. Swung on a miss. He threw it by him. Herndon out on strike. Might have been ball 4. It was a high fastball. Herndon couldn't afford to take it. Swung through it. 4 out, number 1. Kuzman has no decision against the Giants this year. He's 12-7 lifetime against them. Now he'll face Darrell Evans. Evans. Evans, who is hitting .260. Left-hander against left-hander. Slow curve is outside for a ball. 1-0. Gonna have to get that closet fixed one day. 1-0 pitch. Strike call. 1-1. 1 out. High drive hit to right field deep. Going back as Youngblood to the fence. He'll have room at the wall and makes the catch. Evans flies to the 358 mark. And there are 2 men down. Jack Clark, who's had a little trouble getting his act together lately, is up here now. Jack has started to hit the ball again, but he's had his problems on the bases. Pitch to Clark, line down the right field line. That's a base hit. It jammed him, but he got it in there for a base hit. Clark is heading for second. He'll be in with a stand-up double if he hurries, and he does get in there. As the throw came in, Clark slowed down to a trot halfway between first and second, and Youngblood got the ball back in a hurry. Had the ball been on line at second base, Clark might have had a little problem. This broadcast authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the San Francisco Giants solely for the entertainment of our listening audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of description and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the San Francisco Giants is prohibited. Air personnel involved in this broadcast are approved by the San Francisco Giants and station KSFO. Clark doubled for Jack. That is his 33rd of the year. Mike Ivy will be the batter. Ivy coming up here with a batting mark of .313, 9 home runs, 42 RBIs. Swings and misses a slow curveball, strike 1. The most doubles the Giant players had since the Giants came to San Francisco. Mays at 43. Mays had 43 in 1959. Inside to Ivy for a ball. 1-1. Clark now has 33, so he has a good shot. That West Coast record. Ivy with a 1-1 count. Beautiful evening in New York. Slow curve, bounce to third. Randall has a bounce off his chest. And Clark holds up at third. He had a chance to score, and he stopped watching the play. Clark was going to score easily, but as he rounded third, he just watched Randall chase the ball. Then it was too late for him to come in. It'll be an error on Randall. But Clark is running when he shouldn't and not when he should. Jack went to third base. The ball bounced a long way away from Randall. Had to go get it himself because the shortstop. Now here's Willie McCovey takes the strike 0-1. The shortstop had gone over towards the ball and it bounced towards second base. Had Clark run hard, he had it easily at home. But as he watched Randall, it was too late for him to make the move, so he stayed at third. Strike 2 called to McCovey. It is 0-2. The outfield pulled well around to the right. McCovey hitting .230, 12 home runs, 62 RBIs. Runners at first and third, 2 out. Line drive base hit left field. Coming in to score is Clark. At second is Ivy. Is a line drive single for McCovey going to the opposite side. Ivy moved up to second. McCovey's 63rd RBI of the year. Now Mark Hill. Hill, .234 average, 2 home runs, 29 RBIs. Ivy at second, McCovey at first. And Kuzman's pitch. In the dirt. Good save by Stern. Giants scored twice in the first inning yesterday, and the jinx continued as they lost that one. 2-1 delivery. Curve, or ball one delivery. It's the curve is strike 1-1. 1-1 to Hill. Runners at first and second, a run in. Kuzman's pitch, swing and a miss at a curve. It's 1-2. Covey at first, Ivy at second. Outfield, straight away against Hill, medium deep. Hill bounces it up the center of the diamond. Foley over has it, lobs behind him to second base for the fourth. And the side retires. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 runners left on. We go to the bottom of the first. The Giants lead it by a score of 1-0.
In case you missed the details of the games played yesterday, on Sunday, here's what happened in the American League. Kansas City and California both won to maintain their virtual tie atop the Western Division. Paul Footoff, 8th hitter, John Watson's homer. Error by loser John Nadlack helped the Royals to a 2-1 victory over the Texas Rangers. Meanwhile, California edged Baltimore 1-0 in 14 innings when Don Baylor doubled home Rick Miller, who had walked. Other American League contests, Johnny Grubb drove in 5 runs with 3 hits, including a bases-loaded double, to lead the Cleveland Indians past the Chicago White Sox 10-1. Milwaukee's Mike Caldwell won his 16th game of the year with a 6-hit 2-1 victory over the Tigers from Detroit. The Toronto Blue Jays down the Minnesota Twins 6-2 as Don Kirkwood won his first game since April 14th, giving up just 3 hits in the 6 innings of mound work. The Boston Red Sox defeated the Oakland A's 4-2, and the Seattle Mariners scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning to nip the New York Yankees 5-4. National League, as time permitting, the Dodgers rallied for 3 runs in the 9th inning to overcome the Mets 5-4. The Dodger victory, coupled with the Giants' 5-3 loss to the Philadelphia Phillies, increased Los Angeles' lead to 2 games over San Francisco in the National League West. The Dodgers got some help from the Mets in their winning rally. Met left fielder Steve Henderson misjudged Joe Ferguson's double, allowing Ron Cey to score the decisive run. Phillies, meanwhile, scored their winning run against the Giants in the 4th inning on singles by Larry Bowa and Gary Maddox, and a throwing error by San Francisco third baseman Darrell Evans. The win keeps Philadelphia 3 games ahead, a runner-up Chicago in the National League Eastern Division.
Vida Blue with 1 run. If he'd have gotten that in his last outing, the Giants might still be playing in Montreal, but he allowed just 1 run on 3 hits against Montreal. Woody Fryman pitched a 1-hitter to beat the Giants 1-0. Blue has been given a run to start off with here. And Vida, see what he can do about making Matt stand up. At least so the Giants can add some more. 27th appearance of the year, is 3rd against the Mets. last appearance against the Mets, June 18th at Candlestick. He went the distance, winning 3-0. 5 hits, walked 1, struck out 10. He beat New York 2-1 here at Shea Stadium, going 7 in the 3rd inning. Abida, after having a 10-game win streak snapped, is trying to break a 2-game losing streak, a personal one here, as he faces the right-hand batting Elliott Maddox, hitting .269 with 2 home runs and 33 RBIs. Vida's pitch on the way. Swung on line drive, center field, base hit. Blue, and it gets by Herndon, but not far enough for Maddox to move up. Herndon slipped as he went to field the ball, and it bounced past him, but he got the ball back in. Now, Blue will not pitch a no-hitter. As his first pitch, he's given up a third of the hits that he allowed totally in Montreal. Now Tim Foley batting .255. The Giants have Ivy in left, Herndon in center, Clark in right. Evans at third, Lemaster at short, Andrews at second, McCovey at first, Hill catching, Blue pitching. Maddox leads. The pitch to Foley is a strike, 0-1. Tim and the Dodgers almost got into it, he and Lee Lacy, on Saturday. Garvey and Sutton wailed on each other in the clubhouse. Ground ball to second base, should be 2. Andrews to second for 1. Lemaster to first, double play. Foley hits that one to Andrews, who starts the 4-6-3 double play. Well, as the Giants wind up this road trip, the homestand becomes more and more important. As they're 2 games behind the Dodgers, the Giants have played very well at home, and for a couple of reasons. Number 1, it's nice to be home, and number 2, because of the fine crowds there. The Giants are looking forward to getting back home and hoping that the crowds there will help them continue their success and be able to catch the Dodgers. The Giants are home Friday night, which reminds me, I get to take another airplane trip Wednesday. Oh, no, Wednesday, I get to go back to San Francisco. Steve Henderson, .278 average for this right-hand batter. Bounced it to short. Lemaster will have a long throw, but should get him, and he does. The side retired. McCovey had to make a big stretch to catch that ball. No runs on a hit, no errors, no one left on. At the end of 1, the Giants lead it 1-0.
Getting back to results from Sunday in the National League, the Cubs won their ball game as Dave Rader lashed a 2-out bases-loaded double in the 9th inning to give them a 2-1 triumph over the Cincinnati Reds. Elsewhere in the senior circuit, the Pittsburgh Pirates swept their doubleheader and 6-game series with the Houston Astros. Frank Tavares had 4 hits and knocked in the winning run, the Bucs' 7-6 win in the opener. In the nightcap, Ed Ott belted 2 homers and a 3-1 Pirates victory. San Diego, meanwhile, nipped Montreal 5-4 as Raleigh Fingers picked up his 29th save of the season and 200th of his career. And St. Louis defeated Atlanta Ace Phil Niekro 6-4 on Ted Simmons' 2-run double in the 7th inning. Doctors try to determine tonight the extent of a rib injury suffered by California Angels pitcher Nolan Ryan. Strikeout King was coasting along with a 5-hitter against Baltimore Sunday, then came up with an injury when he began his warm-up tosses for the 8th inning. The pain from the rib separation was so intense that Ryan thought he had broken his rib.
Master, Andrews, and Blue for the Giants, who lead 1-0 against Jerry Kuzman. Johnny takes high for a ball. The Master's been hitting the ball with authority lately. He's .231 average with 1 home run and 13 RBIs. Hit the ball hard in Philadelphia. Right-hand batter swings and pops it up. Foul behind first base. Montes with a long run. He will not get there. It's back into the stands. Ball on the strike count. We're in the top of the 2nd. Ross Grimsley from Montreal tonight against Bob Welch for the Dodgers. Curve is a strike. It's 1-2. San Diego is red hot. Padres leading the Phils 2-0 after an inning. Line drive foul to the left. The Master checks the bat. If he broke it, he certainly stung his hand on that one. The Padres, just 8 games back of the Dodgers, only 6 behind the Giants. Just a bit outside an off-speed pitch. It is 2-2 to LeMaster. 2-2 delivery. Bounce to third base. No, to short. Randall gets it in front of the shortstop. Throws the first. Can't get it. That was bounced to the left side, and it looked as though we're going to get by Randall. But he went back deep and took the ball away from Foley. Neither one was going to be able to throw out LeMaster anyway. And it will be Mike Ivey comes up to bat with the bases loaded again. Twice this year he's done that here at the California Chevrolet. Want to join in? Just send your name and address, the telephone number on a postcard to Post Office Box 560, San Francisco 94101. Address it to Giant Payoff Inning. Rob Andrews bluffs the bunt, takes low and inside for a ball. Andrews now looking at Dave Bristol. Andrews was up there as if he were going to bunt on that first pitch. Now Kuzman throws to first, and the ball gets away. LeMaster is headed for second base, and he will be in at second. Kuzman threw that ball high, and as Monez reached out to catch the ball, his arm hit LeMaster on the shoulder, and it jarred the ball out of his hands. It rolled down the first baseline, and they ruled an error on the pitcher. LeMaster winds up at second. Now Andrews will be trying to push the ball to the right side. With that in mind, Monez is playing wide of the bag. He's 20 feet off the first baseline. LeMaster with his lead at second base. Randall plays up close at third. Andrews swings and misses, trying to go to the right side, and it's 1-1. Outfield shading Andrews to the right. Foley playing well over by second base, so there's a pretty good gap through the shortstop hole. Andrews chokes up about 4 or 5 inches on the bat, waiting for Kuzman's next pitch. Low for ball 2. 2-1. St. Louis and Cincinnati, 0-0 after an inning. San Diego now leads Philadelphia 3-0 going to the bottom of the third. That Jim Cott pitching for Philadelphia tonight? No. Lurch. Outside for a ball. Gaylord Perry looking for his 15th win. For San Diego, he has a 3-0 advantage. Second base. LeMaster with no one out. 3-1 pitch to Andrews. Swung on, line drive off the glove of Monez into short right field. LeMaster will have to hold at third as Flynn made a fine play to go into short right field. Flag that one down, keep it from going into right. And Andrews has himself a base hit. LeMaster winds up at third. Flynn with an excellent job keeping that ball from going any farther in the outfield, and LeMaster had to hold up. Now Vida Blue will come up here and bat right-handed. 6 hits and 62 at bats for Vida. With Andrews at first and LeMaster at third. Well, we should see Blue bunting here, trying to get Andrews over to second, and if the bunt is in such a location, LeMaster could come in to score, but it will not be a squeeze bunt. Or at least I wouldn't imagine it. In fact, they aren't going to have Vida bunt. He starts to swing and takes inside for a ball. Andrews leads. Vida doesn't turn to bunt again. Swings and misses, and it's 1-1. Well, there's no percentage here not to have Vida bunt. You'd have him bunt if there was a runner at first and nobody out. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Count of 0-2 to Blue. And Kuzman's pitch. Vida takes 5 for 2-2. It was 1-2. Correct myself. I said 0-2. It was 1-2. Runners at first base, LeMaster at third. 2-2 count to Blue. Struck him out swinging. Kuzman gets his second strikeout. We'll pause for station identification while I look to see if I'm in the right place. This is the Golden West Radio Network.
This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
This is SCN Radio, 790 Fort Clayton and 1420 Fort Davis.
Larry Herndon takes a curveball high for ball one. Herndon struck out his first time. Fouled away, a high fastball, and it's 1-1. Ball and a strike count to Herndon with runners at first and third. 1-1 pitch. Slow curve inside. I don't know where that missed. I guess it was inside. 2-1. Andrews with a very short lead at first. LeMaster down the line at third. Swing and a miss. And it is 2-2. Herndon got his average up close to the 300 mark. But he has been dropping slowly down to the 280 average. Curveball popped up foul, maybe playable. It's back. No, it'll be on the screen. Giants trailing the Dodgers by 2 games. The Dodgers are on a hot roll. They swept Philadelphia, won 2 out of 3 here in New York, while the Giants were losing 2 out of 3 in Montreal and in Philadelphia. Runners at first and third. 2-2 count to Herndon with 1 out. Stearns taking time to fix his catcher's mask. Bristol says something to LeMaster, leading down the line at third as Andrews steps away from first. Kuzman glances the runners, comes to the plate. High, ball 3. 3-2. Now, let's see if Joe Aldebelli has confidence in Herndon making contact as Andrews leads. He doesn't go. The pitch is swung on line to right field. It will be caught by Youngblood. There'll be a play at the plate. Here comes LeMaster digging for the plate. The throw, and he's straight. LeMaster tagged by Stearns on the head. But already his body was across the plate. A good, strong throw by Youngblood in right field. LeMaster might be shaken up a bit. Stearns made the tag on LeMaster's head. LeMaster's feet already across home plate. The sacrifice fly for Herndon. The Giants lead it by a score of 2-0. As Andrews remained at first base, and Darrell Evans will be the batter. Evans fly deep to right his first out. Pitch on the way. Curve is inside for a ball, 1-0. 2 runs on 4 hits for the Giants. Inside for ball 2. Neither of the runs earned. So Evans could make it an earned run with a base hit. A run in this inning. High. Ball 3. See if they stay, being Joe Aldebelli, gives Evans the green light on 3-0. Takes the strike, 3-1. Either he didn't have the okay or he didn't like the location of that pitch. I feel well around to the right for Darrell. 3-1 count to him as now Evans asks for time. Steps out of the batter's box. Giants got 1 in the first. Have scored 1 here in the second. San Diego 3-0 over Philadelphia. The Phils bat in the bottom of the third. St. Louis and Cincinnati, 0-0 after one. St. Louis batting in the top of the second. Dodgers, Montreal should be underway, but we don't have the score up there yet. Ball 4. Evans takes the fastball high and tight. He goes to first base. Andrews moves up to second. Now Jack Clark, who hit one down the right field line for a double, his first time up, and scored a run. Will be the batter. Clark waiting with runners at first and second. 2 men down. Pitch to Jack, popped up, foul, and over near the seats, Montes comes over. He can't get there. It's back into the stands. Clark moving his batting average up to 300 again, and it's good to see Jack swing the bat, getting his base hits. The entire ball club feels that, including Clark, feels that he has to hit to help carry the club. In the middle of the batting order, they need his bat that has driven in 84 runs this year. 1 strike pitch. Curve outside for a ball. One of the problems for Clark is the fact that with his great start this year, so much is expected of him. And yet he has not had that much experience. 1-1 pitch. Curve is a strike. Throw to first base. Back in time as Evans. Stearns with a good throw to first. Clark took the breaking ball for a strike. Clark, just an example of what's happening to this giant ball club. The fact that the club is in the pennant race. And each day is a learning process. And some young ball players on this club that can learn and will learn with what transpires in 78. 1-2 pitch. Driven to deep left center field. That one is hit well back. And going back at Maddox, he makes the catch. Clark hit it about 390 feet from the plate. But Maddox got a good jump on the ball, went back to make the catch for the third out of the inning. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error, 2 left. And as we go to the bottom of the second, it's 2-0.
More on the injury to Nolan Ryan. Ryan suffered that rib separation in Sunday's 1-0 California victory over Baltimore. He may be able to take his scheduled turn in the Angels' rotation in Boston Friday night. The 31-year-old right-hander had to leave while warming up for the 8th inning against the Birds. The Angels won in 14 innings. X-rays Monday proved negative, meaning there was no fracture. Dr. Jewel Rosinski said Ryan's recovery was a day-by-day proposition. Ryan will wear a rib belt. American League President Lee MacPhail has rejected a protest lodged by the New York Yankees of a game on August 13th against the Baltimore Orioles. Heavy rains wiped out a 5-run inning for the Yankees and cost them a potentially important game in the American League East Division. Baltimore led 3-0 at the end of 6 innings, but the Yankees rallied for 5 runs at the top of the 7th. Senior umpire Don Deckinger then called the game when heavy rains made the field unplayable, and the score reverted to 3-0. The Yankees protested that no effort was made to make the field playable, but MacPhail upheld the umpire's decision.
Bottom of the second, a good defensive play by Elliot Maddox, robbing Clark of extra bases and a couple of RBIs, keeping the Giants within hailing distance at 2-0. Willie Montes will be the leadoff batter, then John Stearns and Joe Youngblood. Has hit safely in his last 6 games. Swings and pops it away. Foul. Strike 1. Nothing at 1 count. Montes batting .262, 15 home runs, 77 RBIs. Base hit up the middle. Andrews flags it down, throws to first. He got him. Oh! I called that one too soon as Montes hit that one up the center of the diamond, but the grass floated down, and Andrews made a fine play to backhand the ball and throw him out. Celebrating tonight. A fine play by Rob Andrews to rob Montes of a base hit. As the right-hand batting Stearns takes the curve up high. Stearns has 14 home runs for this year. 5 for ball 2. 275 average, 59 RBIs. Compared to other catchers in the league, he's tied with Carter of Montreal for home runs with 14, ball 3. Bench and Simmons lead him in home runs. Bench with 18, Simmons with 15, but in RBIs, Stearns leads all of them with 59. Carter's second to him with 57. Strike call from Vidas, 3-1. Vidas, 3-1 pitch. Swung on, drive to right center field. Clark going back, he can't get to it. It's going to be off the wall. Herndon will field as Stearns has himself a double. Stearns double. And now Joel Youngblood's about it. Rob Andrews, fine defensive play, cutting off a potential base hit by Montes. Has saved 1 run. Youngblood, a right-hander, 5 home runs, 23 RBIs, 258 batting average. Stearns at second base. Stretch by Blue. The pitch is taken. I don't know what Youngblood was trying to do that time. He ran up in the batter's box. The pitch was inside for a ball. You don't usually run up on Vida Blue's fastball. 1-0 pitch. Inside, ball 2. 2-0. Vida getting behind. He got behind on Stearns. 3-0. Now he's behind on Youngblood. 2-0. Stearns leads at second. The 2-0 pitch to Youngblood. Swung on, driven to right field. Clark going back. Still going. He can't get it. It's over his glove. That will score Stearns, and Youngblood will head for third. The throw is not in time. Vida gets behind Stearns 3-0, gives up a double to him. Gets behind Youngblood 2-0, gives up a triple to him. So it is 2-1 now, and Randall will be the batter. Randall hitting .232 with 1 home run, 27 RBI. A double and a triple with 1 out. Pitch almost a wild pitch. Hill does a good job of saving that one. It was in the dirt. Had it not been for Andrews' fine defensive play, there wouldn't be anybody out in this inning, and the Mets would have a couple of runs. Blues 1-0 pitch. Swung on, base hit, right field. It is tied up at 2. St. Louis leads Cincinnati 4-0 with Cincinnati batting in the bottom of the second. San Diego 3-1 over Philadelphia. The Phils bat in the bottom of the fourth. So a double, a triple, and a single in succession off Blue, and just like that, the Mets have tied it up. Doug Flynn, that's second baseman up here to face Blue. Randall's running. The pitch is swung on and fouled away. Strike one. Score tied at 2 in the bottom of the second. One out, a runner on, 2 runs in. Blue looks at Randall, comes to the plate. It's low for a ball. I don't believe Blue's thrown many breaking pitches. Man has thrown a slider, though, but I haven't seen good fastballs. And the Mets have been going the opposite side and hitting him hard. Throw to first back in as Randall. Score tied at 2. Randall is picked off at first. McCovey throws to second, and he's out at second base. Randall was picked off at first. McCovey threw to LeMaster, covering at second base as Randall took off for second, and he is out from 1 to 3 to 6. 2 men down. Doug Flynn waits with a count of a ball and a strike. Blues pitch to Flynn outside, ball 2. Clubs even and hits at 4. The Mets have made a couple of errors. Greg Minton throws in the Giant bullpen. Fouled away by Flynn. Count stays at 2-2. Will have Ivy, McCovey, and Hill in the 3rd inning. Their 2-run lead wiped out here by the Mets in the 2nd. Driven by Evans at third base. He knocks the ball down, can't make a play. It'll probably go as a base hit. It'll be a base hit for Flynn. Evans going to his left flagged the ball down but couldn't hold on to it, and now Jerry Koosman will be the batter. Koosman with 6 hits and 58 trips, 2 RBIs, has 2 major league home runs. Right-hand batter, takes a strike 0-1. 4 consecutive hits off Blue. He's given up 5 now in an inning and 2/3. Bounce to shortstop. LeMaster has it, throws to first, and the side retires. But here in the 2nd, the Mets score 2 on 4 hits, no giant errors, and leave a runner stranded. And at the end of 2, it is tied at 2.
On Saturday, Don Sutton told reporters tenant pressure is largely in the minds of you guys with the pads and microphones. Facial bruises and scratches on Sutton's face yesterday cast some doubt in his statement. Sutton and All-Star first baseman Steve Garvey were involved in a locker room altercation before the final game of a series with the New York Mets. Both players reportedly fell over stools while wrestling each other to the ground, capping an emotional weekend that saw confrontations in each contest of the 3-game set. The Garvey-Sutton scuffle had been brewing for a few days. An article in the Washington Post quoted Sutton as saying, "All you hear about on our team is Steve Garvey, the All-American boy. Well, the best player on the team the last 2 years, and we all know it, is Reggie Smith. As Reggie goes, so goes us." The article also included a reference to Garvey's family, which lives only 3 houses away from Sutton's in California. According to Garvey, well, we'll talk about that in a few moments. Let's get right now back to our ball game.
Go to inning number 3. It is tied at 2. And to tell you about the action, here's Joe Angel.
All right, Lon. Welcome back, by the way. Good to have you back. We missed you terribly.
How come when I walked in and sat down here, this seat was warm?
It's not easy to give it up, you know. Mike Ivy, Willie McCovey, and Mark Hill in a 2-2 game as we get started in the 3rd. Mike, who's on base on Randall's error in the 1st inning. Batting average of .313. He has 9 home runs. He takes a curve on the inside corner, 0-1. Mike with 9 home runs and 42 RBIs. Left-hander deals again. Breaking ball is hit to the shortstop. Foley backing up from the edge of the grass. Throws and gets him. Good play. Foley with a fine throwing arm, able to gun down Ivy, and that'll bring up Willie McCovey. Willie, who was 1 for 1, had an RBI single in the first inning. With a total of 63 RBIs, 12 home runs, and a batting average of .230 for the Giants first baseman. Left-hander against left-hander. McCovey takes a called strike. It was on an 0-2 pitch that McCovey lined a single to drive in a run in the first inning. Low and away on a breaking ball, 1-1. Jerry Koosman, who in 1976 won 21 games, and then in 1977 lost 20 games. McCovey swings and misses at a good breaking ball. Willie out in front. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Koosman might be on his way to losing another 20 this season. He is 3-13 so far. Fouled away by McCovey. Left-hander winds and deals again. Misses high and outside. 2-2 on McCovey. 1 down in the third in a 2-2 game. Koosman has been a 20-game winner only once. That was in 1976. Won 19 games in 1968 with the Mets. Bouncing ball to the shortstop. Foley near second. Field throws. He got him. Out number 2. Well, the Dodgers are taking a 2-0 lead over, check that, 1-0 lead over Montreal at the end of 2 innings. Dodgers 1 and the Expos 0. 2 down in the third. Now Hill, who's on base on a fielder's choice in the first. Mark with a batting average of .234. He has 2 home runs and 29 RBIs. Misses on the first offering. It's 1-0. Randall backed up at third. Here's a 1-0 delivery. Is hit to third. Randall falls down as he fields. Up, throws, gets it. 3 ground outs in the third. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the third in a 2-2 game. Inning number 3, it'll be Elliott Maddox, Tim Foley, and Steve Henderson, the 1-2-3 hitters against Vida Blue. Vida making his 3rd appearance against New York this season. He is 2-0 and had a shutout earlier against the Mets. In fact, Vida in 16 and a third innings against the Mets this season. Vida has given them only 1 run. Until this evening, the Mets already have 2, as the game is tied at 2-2. Maddox is 1 for 1. He singled in the first and was later doubled up on a ground ball by Foley. Maddox came in with a batting average of .269. He has 2 home runs and 33 RBIs. Evans will play shallow at third. The outfield medium depth and straight away. Vida Blue, who gave up 2 runs, 4 hits by the Mets in the second inning. Left-hander delivers and gets a fastball in there for a called strike. Vida hoping to end a personal 2-game losing streak. Fouled away by Maddox. That'll be in the seats out of play, and the count is 0-2. Vida has yet to record a strikeout in this game in the first 2 innings. He is 5th in the league in strikeouts. Left-hander deals and misses low and outside. 1-2 on Elliott Maddox. Vida coming into the game with a total of 135 strikeouts, the leader on the Giants staff. So check that. Montefusco has 141. Pitch is inside. 2-2. Foley waits on deck. He will be followed by Henderson. It's a 2-2 game in the bottom of the third. Blue peers in, says yes. Winds and delivers. Swing and a foul back. Maddox barely got a piece of that one. Well, the Giants' next homestand is going to be an extremely important one, beginning on Friday night with the Expos, first of a 4-game series. Single games against Montreal on Friday, Saturday, then a doubleheader on Sunday. Here's the pitch. High for ball 3. 3-2 on Maddox, the leadoff man in the third. After the Expos, it'll be the Mets and then the Phillies. Mets in for 2 games, the Phillies in for 4. Swing and a bouncing ball. Evans ranging to his left, has it, throws. He got him, out number 1. We'll bring up Foley, who hit into a double play in the first inning. The Giants' next homestand is going to be an extremely important one, beginning on Friday night with the Expos, first of a 4-game series. Single games against Montreal on Friday, Saturday, then a doubleheader on Sunday. Here's the pitch. High for ball 3. 3-2 on Maddox, the leadoff man in the third. After the Expos, it'll be the Mets and then the Phillies. Mets in for 2 games, the Phillies in for 4. Swing and a bouncing ball. Evans ranging to his left, has it, throws. He got him, out number 1. We'll bring up Foley, who hit into a double play in the first inning. Foley, who is 0 for 1, came in hitting .255. The Mets have been going the other way against Vida Blue. Foley pulls it that time, and he pulled it foul on the ground, 0-1. The single by Maddox in the first was to right field. Even the double play that Foley hit into in the first was to the right side of the infield. Pitch is outside, 1-1. The double by Stearns was to right center. The triple by Youngblood was to right field. The single by Randall was to right field. Line to center field. Herndon racing in. He's there. Makes the catch. And Foley is out number 2. Hit the ball hard, but Herndon able to track it down as he headed in towards the infield. 2 down. That'll bring up Steve Henderson. Henderson, who is 0 for 1. Batting average of .278 for the former Cincinnati Red. 9 home runs, 55 RBIs. 2-2 game. Giants and the Mets in the first of a 3-game set. On deck, Montañez. Left-hander says yes. Here's the pitch. The Blue Blazer is in there for a called strike, 0-1. Giants got 1 in the first and 1 in the second. The Mets got theirs in the second, both runs. 2-2 game. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Fouled away by Henderson. Look out in the mezzanine level. Ball whizzing in there. The count is 0-2. Anderson, who made an error, misjudging a fly ball in the game against the Dodgers yesterday and gave the Dodgers a win in the 9th inning. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fouled away off of Hill's mask. Ryder rearing back and firing there and almost had it by him. Giants will be in dire need of your support when they come home against the Expos. This is a time of the season when they really need support. They're 2 games off the pace. They got to get it going again. Here's the pitch. High for ball 1. 1-2. If they get the same support they've had all season at Candlestick, it shouldn't be any problem. Here's Vida's 1-2 pitch. Is low and outside. 2-2. 2 down in the third. Giants with 2 runs on 4 hits. The Mets 2 runs on 5 hits. They made 2 errors. Here's a 2-2 delivery. Line fouled on the right field line. Ryder has had the fastball by the Mets, but they've been going the other way with him, just sticking the bat out, making contact, and against the Vida Blue fastball, you don't have to swing that hard. The ball will jump off the bat. Next offering, line shot again down the right field line. The ball slicing and going into the seats out of play. Well, they're going the other way against Vida, and the Giant defense is shaded somewhat to the right. Fouled away. This time, Henderson got around on a breaking ball, and he grounded it foul into the Giant dugout. 2 balls, 2 strikes. In the bottom of the third inning at Shea Stadium. In a 2-2 game. Tomorrow night, it'll be Ed Halicki against Espinosa. Breaking ball got away from Vida, missed high and inside. 3-2 now. Vida says no again. Now he says yes. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he foul tip? Yes, he did, I believe. Tomorrow night will be Nino Espinosa with a record of 9-11. He will be opposed by Ed Halicki, who is 6-6. Then on Wednesday afternoon, as they close out the 3-game set, it'll be Tom Hausman, who's 2-2, against Bob Knepper, who is 12-9. Giants would love to sweep this 3-game series. Just about have to. The Dodgers are playing in Montreal. They lead the Expos 1-0 at the end of 2 innings. Here's the 3-2 pitch on the way. High and outside. Vida walks his first man. We'll pause for station identification on the Golden West Radio Network.
This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
Well, Steve Henderson battling Vida and drawing a walk with 2 down. That'll bring up Willie Montañez, that grounded to Rob Andrews. Robbie made a sensational play, robbing Montañez of a single in the second inning. Vida goes to first, Henderson back in. Montañez hitting .262. He has 15 home runs, 77 RBIs. Left-hand batter. Blue, there goes the run of the pitch, a swing and a miss. The throw from Hill is in the dirt, into center field. Henderson on his feet, goes to third, and he's in there without a throw. As the throw comes home, cut off by McCovey. They'll give Henderson a stolen base. Hill threw low in the dirt. LeMaster unable to come up with it. The ball into center field, and Henderson went to third. So a stolen base and a throwing error on Hill, and the count on Montañez is 0-1. Mark making his 10th error of the season. Montañez fouls it away, 0-2. Steve Henderson is 9th stolen base. He's been caught 7 times. The Mets on the season with 69 stolen bases. Giants have 64. Blue ready from a windup. Here's the 0-2 pitch. High and outside. 1-2. On deck is John Stern. 2 down in the third, and Henderson on third. Here's the windup, and the 1-2 pitch is a breaking ball low for ball 2. Giants 2 and the Mets 2 in the third. L.A. 1-0 over Montreal after 3 innings down. Bouncing ball, LeMaster coming in. Short hop, bobble, has it, throws. He got him anyway. Good play by LeMaster. Came in, tried to come up with the in-between hop, was able to get the glove on the ball. It bounced in the air, but Johnny got it before it hit the ground again and was able to get Montañez at first. So the Mets in the third with no runs on no hits, one Giant error and one left. End of three. It's a 2-2 game, the Giants and the Mets.
Getting back to that Garvey-Sutton scuffle, according to Garvey, if something had not been mentioned about my family in our conversation, probably nothing would have happened at all. The first baseman sported a small abrasion above his left eye following the altercation. Garvey said he went over to Sutton's locker before the game to find out if the pitcher had been quoted accurately in that newspaper story in Washington. The two had been talking for several minutes when Sutton reportedly pushed Garvey, and the wrestling match ensued before 4 or 5 players separated them. Sutton's only comment was, "I know you won't believe this, we had a slight disagreement. I couldn't convince Garvey the Southeastern Conference is as good as the Big Ten." Garvey attended Michigan State. Sutton is from Florida. Besides that, in the series opener on Friday, tempers flared when the Dodgers' Reggie Smith stole second base, slid hard into Met second baseman Doug Flynn to exchange words before a dozen or so Los Angeles players left the bench, but tempers cooled and the fight was averted.
Here in the fourth inning, the Giants against Jerry Kuzman will send up John LeMaster and Rob Andrews and Vida Blue, bottom of the order. 2-2 game. LeMaster had an infield single in the second inning and scored, and he takes a called strike, 0-1. Jerry Kuzman, who is second to Tom Seaver in just about every Met pitching record. Breaking ball is grounded foul at the plate. That went off LeMaster's foot. He is in a bit of pain right now. And the count is 0-2. Left-hander ready. LeMaster back in. Here's the pitch. Look out. Leaps away from a pitch that is Pete. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kuzman in 1968 was second to Johnny Bench by only 1 vote in Rookie of the Year balloting. Bouncing ball slowly hit to third. Randall has it. Will never get him. Another infield single by LeMaster. Randall, with a couple of strikes on LeMaster, was playing deep. Johnny hit a little topper up that third baseline. Randall came in quickly, fielded, but had no chance at all of getting LeMaster. So he's 2 for 2. Couple of infield singles for LeMaster, who came in hitting .231. Now Andrews. Kuzman goes to first, and LeMaster is back in. LeMaster, after getting that infield single in the second inning, Kuzman tried to pick him off and threw the ball away. He wound up going to second. Now, on the throwing error by Kuzman. Again, Jerry goes over there. LeMaster back in. Later scored in the inning on a fly ball off the bat of Larry Herndon. Kuzman checking first. Left-hander comes home. Gets a call. Strike at the knees. Andrews can't believe it. 0-1. Robbie thought that pitch was low. Rob is 1 for 1. Had an infield single in the second inning. Got a shot off Montañez's glove at first. Kuzman goes to first again. LeMaster back in. Andrews came in hitting .234. He has 1 home run, 9 RBIs. Had it not been for a fine defensive play by Andrews in the second, the Mets would have a 1-run lead. There goes the runner. The pitch is low and inside. LeMaster changed his mind, goes back to first. The throw there is too late. Somebody might have missed a sign here. Giants might have had to hit and run on. LeMaster took off for second. Andrews didn't offer at the pitch, and now Robbie is going to go check with Dave Bristol to make sure. I'm sure the Giants had a hit and run on, and somebody missed a sign. Must have been Andrews, because he and Bristol are now conversing. LeMaster, seeing that the throw was going to have him dead at second base, changed his mind, went back to first, and the throw back to first from Foley was too late as LeMaster slid under it. Well, the Giants get a break right there. Count on Andrews at 1-1, and LeMaster still at first. There he goes again. The pitch is swung on and missed. The throw from Stearns is in the dirt and into center field. LeMaster, however, will not be able to advance. They'll give LeMaster a stolen base. Andrews swung and missed. The throw from Stearns, had it been a good one, would have had LeMaster. but it was in the dirt, and Foley couldn't come up with it. Now LeMaster again in a position where he could score on a base hit. For Johnny, that is his 6th stolen base. He has been caught 5 times. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Andrews. LeMaster edging away from second now as Koosman at the belt and the pitch. Bouncing ball to the right side. LeMaster goes to third as Flynn throws out Andrews. Now the putout goes 4-3. Robbie did his job, and that was get the ball to the right side of the infield. Moving LeMaster to third, and that'll bring up Vida Blue, and maybe a fly ball here could give the Giants a lead. Now I would imagine the Mets will also be watching out for a possible bunt here on a squeeze. Vida struck out his first time up. Throw to third, LeMaster back in. Randall sneaking in behind John, and the throw was too late. Vida batting right-handed again. Here's a pitch. High and outside, ball 1. Vida this season has 6 hits. Had a couple of RBIs, 1 home run. That was the candlestick. Here's a 1-0 delivery, a swing and a miss. 1-1. Mets on defense with Randall at third, Foley at short, Flynn at second, Montañez at first, all drawn in. Here's a pitch. Vida takes high and outside again. 2-1. In the Mets outfield, it is Henderson in left, Maddox in center, and Youngblood in right. Youngblood has been playing on a regular basis now for about 9 games. Here's a 2-1 delivery. Vida swings and misses again. 2-2. The outfield playing very shallow. Stretch and the 2-2 delivery. A swing and a miss. Strike 3. Big out there for Jerry Koosman, helping up Larry Herndon with 2 down and a runner at third. Strikeout number 3 for Koosman, twice getting Vida. Herndon is 0 for 1. He struck out, hit a fly ball to drive in a run in the second. Larry now with 31 RBIs, a batting average of 280 coming in, and he has 1 home run. That was against the St. Louis Cardinals. And another bonsai plane overhead. Near the airport here. Herndon checks his swing, but he went through. 0-1. Randall with 2 down, playing very shallow at third. Koosman winds and delivers again. Herndon takes outside. 1-1. LeMaster at third. 2 down in the 4th in a 2-2 game. Left-hander checks third. Here's a windup and the pitch. Herndon swings and misses. And a pitch running in on Larry, and the count goes to 1-2. Next pitch. Off speed is swung on and foul tipped into Stern's mitt. Strike 3, and Koosman gets out of it. Get a couple of strikeouts in the inning. Changed up on Larry and had him fooled. Now the Giants, after getting the infield single and the stolen base, in the 4th inning with no runs on the 1 hit, no Met errors, and 1 man left on base. Go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Giants 2 and the Mets 2.
Let's take a look at the leading batters in baseball as we go into the action tonight. In the National League, Jeff Barrow still leads for the Atlanta Braves, 317. Larry Bowa of the Phillies is back at 308. Rose of Cincinnati, Madlock of the Giants, 307, and Reggie Smith of the Dodgers batting at a 306 clip. In the American League, again, it's Raj Carew of Minnesota, 340. Jim Rice of the Red Sox, 325. Lou Piniella of the Yankees, 316, followed by Roberts of Seattle, 314. Oliver of Texas, 309, and Brett of Kansas City, 309. Home runs in the American League, Rice of the Red Sox, 30. Heisel, Milwaukee, 29. Thomas, Milwaukee, 27. Baylor, California, 25. Murray of Baltimore and Thornton of Cleveland, 24. National League leaders in homers, Foster, Cincinnati, and Lazinski of the Phillies, 28. Smith, Dodgers, 27. Parker, Pittsburgh, 23. Dawson now has 22 for Montreal, and Kingman of the Cubs, 21.
Vida Blue in the bottom of the 4th inning will pitch to John Stearns, then Youngblood, and then Len Randall. in a 2-2 game at Shea Stadium. Stearns in here after doubling in the second and scoring a run. Well, he's 1 for 1. John hitting .275. He has 14 home runs, 59 RBIs. Stearns rapidly becoming one of the outstanding catchers in the National League. Leads all catchers this season with 59 RBIs. Takes high and outside, ball 1. Left-hander deals again. Stearns takes a called strike in there, 1-1. Stearns in 1973 was the number 2 draft choice in the entire nation. Number 1 that season was David Clyde. He was taken by the Rangers. Lou says yes. Windup and the 1-1 offering is in there. Another fastball right down the middle. Stearns is complaining, but there was nothing wrong with that pitch. That was right down the middle at the letters. 1-2. Stearns originally drafted by Oakland in 1969, but he decided to go to college and play football instead. High and away, 2-2. Played football at Colorado. He's a fine defensive back. Low and inside. 3-2. Ryder fell behind Stearns in the second inning before giving up the double. Now he's gone to 3-2 on him. Here's a pitch. Swing and a foul back on the screen behind the plate. Stearns at 6 feet tall. He weighs 185 pounds. He was also drafted in the 17th round by the Buffalo Bills in 1973. So he can do it all, as they say. Who says that? 3-2 pitch again. Line drive caught by LeMaster. Ball hit on the nose, but Johnny able to make the catch. 1 down. Now Youngblood. Looking for a recreational vehicle? Well, Bank of America has money to go. Stop by any convenient branch and talk it over. Bank. Joe Youngblood had an RBI triple over Clark's head in the second inning. At the time, it made it a 2-1 game, and then later, a single by Randall got the Mets even at 2-2. That's how it stands right now. Youngblood 1 for 1, hitting .258. Swings and misses. Youngblood with 5 home runs and 23 RBIs. Blue ready again. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Is in there. Took something off that one, and it's 0-2. On deck, Randall. Evans now backed up behind third. The outfield playing medium depth and straight away. Left-hander winds and deals. Bouncing ball foul outside the coaching box at third. And the count stays at 0-2. Ryder ready again. Here's a pitch. Swing and a miss. He blew the fastball by him. Went away from Youngblood, and he waved at it. No, Vida with his first strikeout here in the 4th inning, and that'll bring up Lenny Randall. 2 down. Lenny 1 for 1, RBI single in the second, giving him a total of 28 RBIs. He had 1 home run and a batting average of .232. Lenny has been slumping. Outstanding season a year ago, but this season has been a different story for him. Here's a pitch. Breaking ball is low and inside. 2-2 game. Giants and the Mets in the bottom of the 4th inning with 2 down. Left-hander says yes. And the pitch. Little bit high. 2-0. Outside. 3-0 on Randall, who led the Mets in 6 offensive categories a year ago. But this season, batting only .232. There's a strike at the knees. 3-1. Randall this season has only 83 hits. 84 now. Swing and a miss. Tried to hold up on the swing, but he couldn't do it. 3-2 now. Among his 84 hits, he has 16 doubles and 7 triples and the 1 home run. 2 down here, 3-2 on Randall. And the pitch. Check swing, and he fouled it away into the seats off to the right. Vida's 3-2 pitch again. Breaking ball is low. He walked him. Well, Vida walking his second man. So Randall is now at first with 2 down. Doug Flynn had an infield single his first time up. Flynn, who is with the Cincinnati Reds, now with the Mets, a batting average of .230, 27 RBIs. 2-2 game. Vida ready, checking first. Here's the pitch. Line foul down the right field line. Mets this season have drawn 883,386. They're just about 100,000 behind last year's pace. Swing and a miss. A sinking fastball is nothing in 2. A year ago at this time, they had 993,608. I'm going to check those figures again. Vida deals. Oh, where was that? I think Kibler got fooled. That pitch was right down the middle. Vida and Hill both started walking to the dugout, but Kibler didn't come up with the right arm, so the count is 1-2. Umpires get fooled once in a while, just like hitters do. Randall had a walking lead. Vida goes over there and Lenny back in. Check the attendance figures away. That doesn't sound right on the Mets. We will double check. Left-hander ready. Randall has a good lead, and Vida backs off the rubber. Randall's getting a bigger lead every time. He might be going on one of these offerings to get himself in a scoring position. Blue ready. There he goes. The pitch is swung on line to LeMaster at shortstop, and the Giants got a break. LeMaster had gone over to cover second base when Randall took off, and Flynn hit a line drive right at the second base bag, and LeMaster was able to make the play. Got a break there. In the inning, the Mets with no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. At the end of 4, it's a 2-2 game.
Continuing our look at the leaders in various divisions in baseball, left off with the runs batted in the National League. Foster, Cincinnati, 91. Garvey, the Dodgers, 85. Clark, Giants, 84. Smith, Dodgers, 83. Parker of the Pirates, 81. RBI American League, Rice of the Red Sox, 103. Rusty Starr with the Tigers, 99. Heisel of the Brewers, 90. Thompson, Tigers, 81. And Thornton of the Indians, 79. Stolen base department, National League, Marino, Pittsburgh, 52. Davey Lope, the Dodgers, 34. Richard, San Diego, 33. Tavares of Pittsburgh, 32. And Smith of San Diego, 31. American League leaders, LaFleur, Detroit, 56. DeLeon, Oakland, 44. Cruz, Seattle, 42. Wills, Texas, 39. And Wilson, Kansas City, 35. A National League score from Olympic Stadium in Montreal, Canada. After 4.5 innings of play, the Dodgers are leading the Expos by a score of 2-1.
After 4 innings at Shea Stadium, Giants have 2 runs on 5 hits and 1 error. The Mets 2 runs on 5 hits and 2 errors. We go to inning number 6 here with number 5, I should say, with a play-by-play is Lon Simmons.
Darrell Evans, who has flied out and walked. Then Jack Clark, who has doubled and been robbed of extra bases on a fine running catch by the center fielder Maddox. And Mike Ivey, who's been safe on an error and has grounded out. Left-hander against left-hander as Kuzman winds for the pitch to Evans. Curve gets the inside corner for strike 0-1. Kuzman's 0-1 pitch. Low, 1-1. Outfield pulls around to the right. This is natural turf in Shea Stadium. Ground ball, fair ball, and Montes backhands it behind first base and beats Evans to the bag. Montes retires Evans unassisted. Like the Giants might tame Kuzman early, scoring single runs in the first and second and a chance to score more than that in each inning. But since Maddox robbed Clark to end the second inning, Kuzman has allowed only one infield hit. Bouncing ball by Randall down the third base side. He knocks it down. It'll be a base hit for Clark. Randall thought that ball was hit harder than it was. He went defensive on that ball, and it bounced off his glove. And it will be a base hit for Clark. Clark didn't overpower it, but I think with the swing that Randall thought that ball was driven down the line. Dodgers lead 2-1 over Montreal after 4 innings. Dawson has hit a home run for Montreal, his 22nd. Clark leads and Kuzman throws over there. Houston leads 6-0 over the Cubs after 4. Cardinals lead 5-3 over the Mets over Cincinnati after 3. Cardinals 5 and Cincinnati 3 after 3. Kuzman goes to first base again. Clark is back in. Another throw to first. Once more, Clark gets back. Clark at first base, one down. Kuzman comes to plate to Ivy, who swings and misses a high fastball. That's strike one. Bills and San Diego at the end of 6 are tied at 3. Another throw to first. Nothing in 1. Clark leads. Strike 2 called to Ivy. 0-2. Kuzman in front of Ivy, who is 0 for 2 tonight, been safe on an error. Clark has a little bigger lead. The pitch to Ivy is outside for a ball. It's 1-2. 1 out, 1 on. Inside, ball 2. Outfield plays Ivy about straight away. Backed up fairly deep. Infield, looking for a ground ball. Kuzman throws to first, and Clark gets back in. 2 runs, 6 hits, an error for the Giants. 2 runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors for the Mets. Ivy backs out of the batter's box. Count of 2-2. Clark away from first. Kuzman looks, kicks, goes over there. Clark gets back in. Tomorrow night, Ed Halicki for the Giants against Nino Espinosa for the Mets. Clark runs. The pitch is beaten foul to the left side, a slow curve, and Ivy went out after it, pulled the ball foul. The American League, Toronto beat Texas 8-6. Detroit leads Minnesota 3-0. Minnesota batting in the bottom of the third. Baltimore and Oakland later start. Clark at first, 2-2 count to Ivy. Another throw to first, and Jack gets back in. Giants got single runs in the first and second. The Mets tied it with 2 in the bottom of the second. And that's the way it stands. Or sits or lies down, whatever. Another throw to first. his lead. Guzman looks, comes to the plate. Ivy fouls it away off the mask of Stearns, and it stays at 2-2. Giants batting in the fifth. Clark with his second hit of the night, a single off Randall's glove at third. Mike Ivy trying to tag one here, gets the Giants back on top. Guzman taking his time now from the stretch, looks at first, goes over to first. Stretch, the 2-2 pitch. Off the foul. This one will be right below it. And it stays at 2-2. Count remains even. To Ivy. Clark at first with one out. Pitch. Struck him out swinging. Ivy goes down on strike. We'll pause for station identification. It's the Golden West Radio Network.
This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
John Stearns, who was struck in the mat by a foul ball, goes over to the Mets trainer. Gives him something to clear his head. That's groggy after being hit by that foul ball. McCovey has singled a drive and a run and grounded to short. Swings and misses a curve, and Clark has caught off first base. Montes running him towards second. Now Foley chasing him back, and Foley hits him with the throw, and Clark gets back to first base. Clark was caught napping off first base again, standing off the bag, and Stearns threw over there. Montes chased him towards second, threw to Foley. Foley chased him back to first base, and then tried to throw the ball to Montes, and it hit Clark. It's an error on Foley, allowing Clark to get back to first base. One strike count to McCovey. Swing and a miss at a curve, strike two. Oh, it's really an adventure for Clark when he gets on the bases now. Clark is running, the pitch is fouled away. Jack was going on that 0-2 pitch to McCovey, and McCovey fouled it back. Well, maybe everything that can happen to Clark on the bases will happen to him on this road trip. Jack will be aware of it when the Giants get back home. They'll be home the night of the 25th to throw over them. That's this Friday night against Montreal. Doubleheader on Sunday. Single game Saturday. Look at first, and another throw over there. Giants will be playing Montreal, the Mets, and Philadelphia on this next homestand. The Mets will be in town for a Tuesday night game. That Tuesday night game half price the night of the 29th. Swing and a miss. McCovey's out on strike. No runs on one hit, one error, one left. And as we go to the bottom of the fifth inning, it is tied at 2.
Taking a look at the leading pitchers in baseball today in the National League, Vita Blue of the Giants is 16-6, Necro Atlanta 15-13, Perry of San Diego 14-5, John of the Dodgers and Grimsley of the Montreal Expos, who's pitching for Montreal against the Dodgers tonight, 14-9. By the way, it's all tied up after 5, 2-2. Dodgers 2 and the Expos 2. Leading pitchers in the American League, Guidry, Yankees 17-2, Tonana, Californian, Caldwell, Milwaukee 16-7, Torres, Boston 15-6, Sorensen, Milwaukee 15-8. Spritoff, Kansas City, 15-10, and Flanagan, Baltimore, 15-11. ERA department, National League, Vukovic, St. Louis, 2.18. Rogers, Montreal, 2.41. In the American League, Guidry of the Yankees, 1.79. Matlack, Texas, 2.17. Strikeouts, National League, Richard, Houston's 230. Negro Atlanta 195. American League leaders, Ryan of California 205. Guidry of the Yankees 194.
Montreal has tied the Dodgers 2 apiece after 5 innings. St. Louis scored 4 more in the 4th. The lead after 4 over Cincinnati by a score of 9-3. Houston 6-0 over the Cubs after 4. Jerry Koosman leads off against Blue and popped it foul back into the upper deck. Strike 1. San Diego and Philadelphia go to the bottom of the 7th, tied up at 3. 1 strike pitch, swung on and missed. Strike 2. Detroit leads Minnesota 3-0 after 3.5. Toronto 8-6 over Texas. That's the final. Popped up foul, playable for Hill. Back near the screen. Hasbro makes the catch, and Koosman fouls out. Elliott Maddox, who has singled and grounded out. Giants out hitting the Mets 6-5. The Mets with 3 errors, and the Giants won, but the score is tied at 2. Maddox taking a long time to get to the plate. He's wanting to let Koosman sit down and relax. We're in the bottom of the 5th here. Tied up at 2. Vida Blue. Ready to work to the right-hand batting Maddox. 1 for 2 is the Mets center fielder. Takes a strike, an off-speed pitch, 0-1. Outfield shades to the right for Maddox, even though he is a right-hand batter. Another let-up, foul back, strike 2. Blue giving Maddox 2 off-speed pitches. And gets in front of him. No balls, 2 strikes. The 0-2 delivery. Fly ball, right field. Easy chance for Clark. Comes in 2 steps, makes the catch, and 2 men are down. Now it'll bring up Tim Foley, who's hit into a double play and lined out. Denny Summers, who used to manage in the Giant organization in the minors, is coaching over at first base. Dal Maxwell at third for the Mets. Blues pitch to Foley. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. Foley swinging himself almost off his feet at that one. 0-1 count. Evans just slightly deeper than the third base bag. The rest of the infield backed up. Ground ball, base hit, right field. Foley singles to the right side. And it will bring up Steve Henderson, the left fielder. Henderson is grounded out and walked. Foley at first with 2 down. That is the 6th hit for the Mets. Clubs even and base hits again. Blue has struck out just 1 man tonight, which either indicates that the Mets are in good hitting form this evening, or Vida doesn't have his overpowering fastball. Stretch by Blue for the pitch to right-hand batting Henderson, who swings and misses. Strike 1. Grounded out and walked. Henderson has struck out 87 times this year. The most on the Mets. Foley leads. Fouled away. Strike 2. For the Giants, Clark has struck out the most times. 60, which isn't too bad. Or your strikeouts down to that level, you're not in much trouble for a power hitter. Foley at first, a strike 2 count. Fouled away. Blue threw him a breaking ball, got it out over the plate, and Henderson was able to get a piece of it. Count remains at 0-2. Henderson crouching at the plate, waiting for Vida's 0-2 delivery as Foley gets his lead at first. Pitch, swung on, bounce to Lemaster. Charges, one-hands it, throws to first and gets him. Lemaster charging towards the second base bag to throw out Henderson for the third out of inning number 5. In the fifth for the Mets, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, the runner left on. At the end of 5, it is tied at 2.
Well, Cromartie of the Expos has just hit a long home run well over 400 feet in the right field stands. That happens to be the game of the week on ABC. We're kind of taking a peek every so often at the monitor. And he just slammed a pitch, Welch, the youngster who is undefeated so far for the Dodgers this year. He just hit a pitch right across the letters. Looked like a changeup from Bob Welch, who's 5-0. Slammed a home run in the home half of the 6th inning. And the Expos have taken a 3-2 lead over the Dodgers in that ball game. For the Dodgers, Bob Welch and Ross Grimsley, 14-9, pitching for the Dodgers. In the American League, after 3.5, Detroit leads Minnesota 3-0. Back to the National League after 4, San Diego 3, Philadelphia 3. At the Astrodome in Houston, Houston leading Chicago now by a score of 4-0. And at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, the St. Louis Cardinals continue to lead the Cincinnati Reds 4-0.
Mark Hill will lead off. This is a Giant payoff inning. Mark will bat for Leslie J. Serpa of Fresno. Hill has forced a runner and grounded to third. It's followed by Lemaster and Andrews. Score tied at 2, top of the 6th. If you want to join in the payoff inning, send your name and address and telephone number on a postcard to Giant Payoff Inning, Post Office Box 560-94101, San Francisco. Hill takes an off-speed pitch up high for ball 1. Kuzman has had things well in hand since the Giants scored single runs in the first 2 innings. The fastball is a strike. Hill didn't expect that call. He thought it was ball 2, and he turns around and looks at Kibler. Ball on the strike. Kuzman's 1-1 pitch. Dribbled foul to the left, an off-speed breaking pitch. Hill fouled it off. It's 1-2. Kuzman ahead of Hill. 1-2 pitch. Struck him out swinging through the fastball by 3 consecutive strikeouts for Kuzman. 5 in the game. I think that's 7 strikeouts. They're marking him down. After a hard day on the job, Tony Lemaster will be batting for Eileen Groves of Farmington. Takes low for a ball. He has 2 infield hits. Fouls it away. 1-1. The count to Lemaster, batting with 1 out in the 6th. Score tied at 2. Let up, drive into left center field. Maddox going over. He will get there and makes the count. 2 men are down. Elliot Maddox outrunning him in center field. With 2 gone, it will bring up Rob Andrews to bat for Christopher Kirk of Carmel. An acquisition by the Mets on the free agent market. He's been doing a good job with the glove. Taking a couple of hits away from the Giants tonight. Clark and Lemaster with line drives into left center, and Maddox just outrunning the ball. Rob Andrews, 1 for 2. Line outside for a ball, 1-0. Elliot Maddox outrunning him in center field. With 2 gone, it will bring up Rob Andrews to bat for Christopher Kirk of Carmel. Maddox, an acquisition by the Mets on the free agent market. He's been doing a good job with the glove. Taking a couple of hits away from the Giants tonight. Clark and Lemaster with line drives into left center, and Maddox just outrunning the ball. Rob Andrews, 1 for 2. Line outside for a ball, 1-0. Guzman's 1-0 pitch. High, ball 2. Each club with 6 hits, each with 2 runs. The Mets have made 3 errors. The Giants have made 1. Strike called to Andrews. Giants did not have an earned run against Guzman. Each of their first 2 unearned. 2-1 pitch. High for ball 3. Score tied at 2 in the top of the 6th. St. Louis now leads Cincinnati 10-3. Pop foul out of play. It's a full count, 3-2. Dodgers and Montreal tied at 2 apiece. San Diego and Philadelphia tied at 3. San Diego and Philadelphia playing in the 8th inning. Pitch on the way, low and inside, ball 4. He walked in. Andrews becomes Guzman's second walk. And it'll bring up Vida Blue, who struck out twice. Vida now bat left-handed, and he'll bat for Dorothy Harris of Salinas. Vida struck out twice batting right-handed. Now he's going to change and bat left-handed. Pitch is a strike. In the 6th, Houston leads the Cubs 6-0. Vida batting with 2 out, and Andrews at first base. Randall plays up close at third. The outfield very shallow for Blue. Curve is strike 2. 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Struck him out swinging. Vida goes down swinging for the 3rd time. Number 8 for Guzman. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on. And as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, it is tied up at 2.
Noticing on the TV monitor a while ago in that game between Montreal for the pennant, Sunday's incident came less than a week after Sutton was quoted by a Washington Post columnist as saying the nation is infatuated with a few names.
Bottom of the 6th, it will be Montes, Stearns, and Youngblood against Blue. Montes has grounded out twice, once on an outstanding play by Andrews to lead off the 2nd inning. And as it turns out, that has been the defensive play of the game because Stearns followed with a double, Youngblood tripled, Randall and Flynn singled. The Mets settled for 2 runs in the inning. Had it not been for Andrews' stop, the Giants would be behind now. Montes, left-hander against left-hander. Blue looks in for trying for the first pitch to Montes. Breaking ball high, ball 1. Cincinnati came up with 2 runs in the bottom of the 5th on Griffey's home run. Strike call, 1-1. So it is 10-5 after 5 innings. St. Louis over Cincinnati. Fouled away. Montes out in front on a slow curve, and it's 1-2. Montes leads off the Mets 6th. This one is tied at 2. Vida's pitch swung on and fouled, and Hill can't hold it. Montes stays alive. A high fastball, and Montes just got a piece of it. Blue into the windup, the 1-2 pitch. High, ball 2. 2-2. And the left-hander's 2-2 pitch. Line drive to Evans at third. Evans catches the ball off his shoe top for out number 1. hit the ball hard twice, doubled up the right center field alley, and lined to shortstop. Right-hand batting catcher takes a curve that's low for a ball, 1-0. Infield backed up, the outfield deep. Fastball high, ball 2. Blue gets behind on Stearns again. That's what happened to him before. And Stearns hits the ball hard. 2-0 pitch. Ground to the left side. LeMaster has it. His long throw in time. What a play by Johnny LeMaster. Going into the hole to field that bid for a base hit. Throwing on the run, going away from first base, and got the throw in time to stretching Willie McCovey for out number 2. LeMaster with a brilliant play on that one. 2 men down. John would not have been able to make that play had it not been the catcher running. But Stearns runs pretty well because he's stolen 19 bases this year in 25 attempts, so it isn't as if he has his feet tied together. Joe Youngblood takes a strike, 0-1. Youngblood has tripled and struck out. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 2. You would say that Youngblood would bat 500 times against Blue and never get a base hit off him, the way he lunges at the ball, but he tripled over Clark's head in the second inning. He struck out in the 4th. The 0-2 pitch. High for a ball. It's 1-2. And Blue's 1-2 delivery. Low and inside, ball 2. 2-2. Blue thought he might have had that inside part of the plate, but that one. Avida walks off the mound, stares out into center field. 2-2 count to Youngblood, right-hand batting right fielder. And the 2-2 pitch. Hop foul out of play. After 5 innings, St. Louis 10 and Cincinnati 5. The last score we had from Montreal was at the end of 5, tied at 2, the Dodgers and Montreal. Pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. No. First base umpire Dick Stella said he did, or Nick Pelosi said he didn't swing at it. Youngblood going around on a breaking pitch that was in the dirt. And Nick Pelosi said, no, he didn't swing at it. He didn't screw himself into the ground. It is a full count of 3-2. And Blues 3-2 pitch. Bounce to deep short. Evans cuts it off, throws to first, gets him, and now the play at first. Very close. Youngblood arguing there, but Pelosi says, no, yeah, we gave you one break, not going to give you another one. And I'm not too sure about that one, that Youngblood wasn't safe at first. There's an argument at first base. The Mets felt that Youngblood was safe. Nothing across for the Mets, and at the end of 6 full, it is tied at 2.
Major League Baseball umpires are charging that the National and American Leagues have failed to bargain in good faith on a new contract. Their attorney, Richard Phillips, says formal unfair labor practice charges have been filed with the National Labor Relations Board. Phillips says in Philadelphia that the umpires' demands include 3 one-week vacations during the season. Another demand is that 1 more umpire be added to each 4-man crew. Phillips said the extra man would work 4 days on the field and on the 5th assume the duties of official score, a job now handled by members of the Baseball Writers Association of America. The umpires also are seeking job security after 3 years' experience for those who maintain a 90% rating for their performance. He says they also want complete reimbursement for travel expenses, including first-class transportation and cost of living expenses or increases. They're also seeking use of rental cars and pay for working more than 162 games, including postponed contests.
We go to the 7th inning, and here's Joe Angel. Larry Herndon leads off in a 2-2 game. Breaking ball is low and inside on Larry. 1-0. Larry in the game is 0 for 2. He's had a couple of strikeouts sandwiched around a sacrifice fly in the 2nd inning. Bunts it in the air. Stearns up the line. Randall makes a dive, but he can't pick it up. A foul ball. Randall came charging down that third base line. Dove head first. Got a mid on the ball, but it popped out. And Lenny Randall getting a nice hand for his effort. Kuzma, who gave up a run in the first and then another one in the second, has been almost untouchable since. Giants, since the second inning, have had only 2 hits. Both infield singles. Left-hander deals. Herndon takes a strike called at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Left-hander ready again. The 1-2 pitch is fouled away. A little nubber into the Met dugout back to first. Totals identical on the board. 2 runs and 6 hits. Here's the pitch. Bouncing ball to the shortstop. Foley has it. Throws. He got him. Out number 1. Now Darrell Evans, who is 0 for 2. Out, walked and grounded out is 0 for 2. Darrell hitting .260 with 11 home runs and 55 RBIs. Giants 2 and the Mets 2 in the 7th. On deck is Jack Clark. Kuzman delivers. Evans backed away from a tight fastball, 1-0. Dodgers 2 and the Expos 2 in the 6th inning. Checking out the 7th inning now. There's a called strike on Evans. The count is even up at 1-1 now. Evans swings at a breaking ball and he grounds it foul outside first. Padres scored twice in the top of the 8th inning. They now lead the Phillies 5-3. Padres are red hot. They are playing good baseball. They're only 8 games off the pace now in the Western Division. Evans swings at a fastball and fouls it away. Kuzman had that one by him, but Darrell got a piece of it. 1-2. The Padres only 8 games behind the Dodgers. They're only 6 games behind the Giants, and they're only 5 games in back of Cincinnati. Fastball is high. 2-2. Cromartie has just homered for the Expos, so they have now taken a 4-3 lead. Check that, a 3-2 lead. Evans takes a call, strike 3. Kuzman getting his 9th strikeout. So the Expos now lead the Dodgers 3-2. That game in the 6th inning. Now that game is at the end of 6th inning. Jack Clark takes just outside, ball 1. Clark 2 for 3, a double and an infield single. Swings and lines it down the left field line. Going over is Henderson at the warning track. Makes the catch, and Clark is out number 3. And Jack came very close. He has a couple of hits, and twice he has been robbed of hits on a couple of fine defensive plays. One by Maddox in center, and that one by Henderson in left. So it turns out to be a 1-2-3 inning in the 7th. Go to the bottom of the inning, it's a 2-2 game.
Exhibition football, National Football League. At the end of 1 quarter, Detroit Lions leading the Cleveland Browns by a score of 7-0. 8 teams of boys aged 11 to 12 are posed for Tuesday's opening of the 32nd Middle League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, where the sport for the small fry was organized back in 1939. The teams are the victors from 6,500 leagues in 32 nations and have survived playoffs in 8 regions of the world. In the opening day in the United States bracket, Rockville Center, New York, meets Danville, California, and Lexington, Kentucky faces Palatine, Illinois. The foreign team bracket on Wednesday includes the first round of the single elimination tournament. Madrid, Spain meets Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, while Taiwan faces Whaley, British Columbia. The semifinal round is scheduled for Thursday and the finals for Saturday. Let's pause now for station identification. This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
This is SCN Radio, 790 Pacific and 1420 Atlantic.
Fans here at Shea Stadium have taken their seventh inning stretch, and McCovey not too happy about that. Lenny Randall leads off. He will be followed by Flynn and then Jerry Kuzman. If he hits, Randall in the game is 1 for 1, a single and a walk. Vida Blue gets a call strike, 0-1. Vida looking for his 17th win. He has lost 6 times. Jerry Kuzman is 3-13. Breaking ball is in there for a strike 2 call. Vida has only 1 strikeout in the game. That was Youngblood in the 4th. Kuzman has 9 strikeouts. Bouncing ball slowly hit to Andrews, who charges, fields, underhands, and gets him. Out number 1. Randall thrown out 4-3. That'll bring up Doug Flynn. You'll always find more specials at Long's Drugs. They have specials in every department, from cameras to cosmetics, from food to pharmacy items. Stop into your neighborhood Long's and prove to yourself you'll find more specials at Long's. 1 down. Doug Flynn, 1 for 2. Breaking ball is in there. Call strike. 0-1. Flynn had an infield single in the 2nd and lined out to LeMaster in the 4th. Flynn hitting .230 with 27 RBIs. He has yet to hit a home run. Left-hander delivers. Flynn takes high and outside. 1-1. Giants got 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd. The Mets got even in the 2nd, scoring twice. Here's a 1-1 pitch. There's a strike called on the outside at the knees. Flynn not too happy about the call. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Evans now with a couple of strikes on Flynn is backing up behind third. The outfield medium depth, and they play Flynn to go the other way to swing late. They give him left center field. Here's a 1-2 pitch, line drive, base hit, left field. Ivy coming into field, get it back in. Flynn takes the turn and goes right back. Hit number 7 for the Mets. The Giants have 6. That'll bring up Jerry Kuzman, and now he can bunt to get Flynn to second, and would bring up Elliot Maddox, leadoff man. Evans and Hill and Blue and now LeMaster will converse at the mound. 2-2 game, Giants and the Mets. San Diego 5, the Phillies 3 in the 8th inning. Houston 6, Chicago nothing in the 7th. St. Louis 10, Cincinnati 5 in the 6th inning. And in the 7th, Randy Moffett warming up now in the bullpen. There's the ball is taken high for ball 1 as Kuzman turned to bunt. The Expos 3 and the Dodgers 2 in the 7th inning. Evans and McCovey charging and Vida coming off the mound. There's a stretch. He turns the bunt, and he does. Up the first base line. McCovey fields. He will go to first. Andrews covering in time, and Kuzman is out number 2 on the sacrifice, 1-4. But Flynn is now at second, and the batter will be Elliot Maddox. The Padres scored 2 more in the 9th inning, so they now lead the Phillies by a score of 7-3. Phillies lead the Cubs by 3 games in the Eastern Division. The Cubs also losing this evening. In the American League, Detroit 5, Minnesota 1 in the 5th. And Toronto beat Texas 8-6. Baltimore at Oakland yet to get underway. Elliot Maddox with 2 down in the 7th inning and a runner at second. Maddox in the game is 1 for 3. Vida Blue to work on him. Left-hander checking Maddox. Flynn getting his lead. The pitch just outside. Vida thought he had the outside corner. 1-0. Maddox with 33 RBIs. Left-hander ready. Here's a 1-0 pitch. A swing and a miss by the Mets center fielder. It's 1-1. Blew that one by him. Giants at home this Friday night against Montreal. First of a 4-game series, which includes a doubleheader on Sunday. Then the Mets and then the Phillies in town. Ryder's 1-1 offering is high. 2-1, a fastball. Maddox this season has yet to come up with a game-winning hit. Steve Henderson leads the Mets. He has 7 game-winning RBIs. Fly ball, right field. That'll be handled by Jack Clark. Waiting. He's there. Makes the catch. And Maddox is out number 3, and Vida gets out of it. In the 7th inning, the Mets with no runs on 1 hit and no errors and 1 left. End of 7. It's a 2-2 game.
A suspect in Saturday night's robbery of Kansas City Royals first baseman Pete Lecoq has died. Police say the case is now considered a homicide and will go to a grand jury on Friday. Authorities say one of the suspects, identified as 17-year-old Alex Clark, died of a gunshot wound to the head. Police say Clark was shot during a struggle after he was caught by victims of the robbery. Police say the grand jury will have to determine who was holding a gun when it was discharged. Before he died, Clark was charged with robbery, assault, and criminal action. Police say Lecoq, his wife, and 2 other couples were robbed by 3 men. One of Lecoq's companions was shot in the arm during the robbery. Police also report that one of the suspects reportedly pointed the gun at Janet Lecoq, who is 9 months pregnant, and threatened to kill her and the baby. Ball game all tied up as we go to the top of the 8th inning.
We go to the 8th inning, and Lon, this game is in your hands. But then the whole world is in your hands.
Right. Mighty poor choice, too. Mike Ivey hit on base on an error, but he's over 3. Lays off an off-speed pitch. It's a strike. Koosman with 9 strikeouts has walked 2. Has really been in control of this game since the 2nd inning. 1 strike pitch. Grounded to left side. Takes a nice hop for Randall, who throws him out. Out number 1. Ivey trying to pull that pitch that was away from him and hit it rather sharply, but it took a nice hop for Randall going to his left. 1 man down, and now Willie McCovey, who singled to drive in a run on the first, grounded out and struck out as the batter. Swing and a miss. McCovey almost threw himself into the seat swinging at that slow curveball. 1 strike pitch to him. High with a fastball. St. Louis scored another run. And so is Cincinnati. It's 11-6 after 6 innings. Strike 2, fastball is good. One and 2 to McCovey with 1 out. 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Number 10 for Koosman. Mark Hill, who has forced a runner, grounded to third, struck out. Koosman now has his season-high strikeouts of 10. He struck out 9 Atlanta Braves in a game. He's only pitched 3 complete games so far this year and has only won 3 times. But he is standing the Giants on their ear in this one. Hill pops it foul out of play, strike 1. Giants got a run in the first and a run in the second, each unearned. Let up outside. Elliott Maddox making the defensive play for the Mets to rob Clark of extra bases with a couple of runners on. In the second with 2 out. Bounce foul to the left side. The Giants trying to pull everything against Koosman now. Everybody thinking home run with the score tied at 2, and they're not doing much handling of the pitching. One-two pitch. Strike 3 called. Number 11. Hill complaining, but the pitch was right over the center of the plate. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. And at the end of 7.5, it is tied at 2.
Well, the National Football League exhibition season has only one game left, and many marginal players are being placed on one type of list or another. Chicago Bears hopefuls lead today's exodus as the team put 6 players on waivers, including veteran defensive end Billy Newsome and running back Ed Marinero. The Washington Redskins cut 4 players from their roster, including the first Canadian player ever drafted by NFL club, Brian Fryer, who made the club as a rookie in 1976. He was cut along with veteran running back Jeff Kenny, quarterback Bill Kenny, and tight end Grady Richardson. The San Francisco Giant 49ers, meanwhile, placed running back Wilbur Jackson, offensive tackle Gene Barrett on the injured reserve list for the 1978 season. Another note, as far as football is concerned, the 49ers say defensive coordinator Dan Radonovich has resigned. Coach Pete McCulley says that his duties will be assumed by the other coaches.
Vida Blue will pitch to Foley, Henderson, and Montanez in the bottom of the 8th inning. Ed Simmons has hit a home run now for St. Louis, so they lead at least 12-6 in the 7th over Cincinnati. Detroit 5-2 over Minnesota after 6. Here it's tied up at 2, and Tim Foley is hit into a double play, line to center, single to right. Vida trying to win his 17th game. His 3rd attempt at that. Pitch is outside for a ball, 1-0. Blues 1-0 delivery. Breaking ball beaten to 3rd, foul. And it's 1-1. Ball on the strike, the count. To the right-hand batting shortstop, Tim Foley. Foley wearing a shin guard on his left leg. He'll be followed by Henderson and Montanez. Blues pitch, swung on, popped up. McCovey calling for it. Right at the edge of the outfield grass, makes the catch, and Foley is out number 1. Giants will be at the tail end of their order in the 9th inning. The Mets, in the middle of their batting order here, is number 3 hitter Steve Henderson comes up. Has grounded to short twice, sandwiching those 2 outs around a base on balls. He stole a base and wound up at 3rd. But didn't get across the plate. The Mets got their 2 runs in the 2nd on a double by Stearns, a triple by Youngblood, singles by Randall and Flint. Breaking ball, strike, 0-1. Right-hand batting Henderson against Vida Blue in the bottom of the 8th. Another slow curve, high this time. 1-1. Vida's 1-1 pitch. Grounded foul past first base. Ball on 2 strikes. Giants have single runs in each of the first 2 innings. Have not come close to scoring since then. In fact, just 2 hits that are infield hits. And have hit the ball out of the infield just twice since that 2nd inning. Swing and a foul off the mask of Mark Hill. Lemaster flied to center and Clark flied to left. Those are the only 2 balls to leave the infield since Clark lined out in the 2nd inning. Bounced slowly back towards the mound. Blue has it. They're going to have to hurry. Got him. Close play at first base. Vida really had to throw hard to first base. And the Mets losing all the close decisions at first. Now Willie Montanez, who's grounded out twice and lined out. Two down. Bases empty in the bottom of the eighth. Nets out hitting the Giants 7-6. Score tied at 2. Bounce to second base. Easy play for Andrews. He throws to first. It's a 1-2-3 inning. And at the end of 8, the score, the Giants 2, the Mets 2.
Well, to watch those San Diego Padres, they're now 66 and 59. They're 7.5 behind the Dodgers, and the Dodgers continue to lose this game. They're in the bottom of the 8th at Montreal. They could be 7 behind. Pinch hitter Jerry Turner doubled home Fernando Gonzalez with the go-ahead run the 8th inning tonight, and Gene Tennis added a 2-run homer to give the San Diego Padres and Gaylord Perry a 7-3 victory over the Philadelphia Phillies. The 39-year-old Perry raised his record to 15-5, scattering 6 hits over 7 innings while striking out 5. And we just have been informed that the Montreal Expos have hit another home run. We don't have the fellow's name, but they now lead by a score of 4-2. Rick Rhoden now pitching for the Dodgers. So in the home half of the 8th, the Dodgers trail by 2 runs to the Montreal Expos. So getting back to the Padres game, Gonzalez hit his 4th single of the game with 2 out in the 8th off losing pitcher Juan Verstar. So again, the final score 7-3, the Padres over the Phillies.
Inning number 9, Johnny LeMaster is 2 for 3. The hardest he hit the ball he made out on. He had 2 infield hits and then hit a line drive into left center, and Maddox made the catch. Pitch on the way to LeMaster. Swung on line drive, base hit down the left field line. Over to cut it off is Henderson. And LeMaster will have to hold with a single as Henderson gets to throw back to the infield. LeMaster singles to left. Now, Rob Andrews. Bill Madlock getting a bat. The Giant dugout. He'll come out to bat for Vida Blue, which means they will have Andrews trying to sacrifice LeMaster over to second. Andrews, as an infield hit, is grounded out and walked. Throw to first. Johnny LeMaster 7 for his last 10 at bat. He leads at first. Pitch to the plate. Andrews takes low for a ball, 1-0. Turn to sacrifice. And it's 1 ball, no strike. Kuzman with 11 strikeouts. Walk 2. LeMaster with his 3rd hit of the night. He has 3 of the Giants' 7 hits. Andrews bunts at it and misses, and it's 1-1. Montanez at first base, Randall at third, charging. Andrews glances at Dave Bristol to see if there's anything else put on or if the sign has been changed or anything. The way the Mets are charging, they could take the bunt off and let Andrews swing away. Throw to first. Back in is LeMaster. Dale Murray, right-hander, throws in the bullpen for the Mets, while Randy Moffett throws in the Giant bullpen. Andrews turns to bunt. Bunts it foul. 1-2. Andrews can't get the ball down on the first 2 strikes. Now we'll see if Joe Aldebelli changes his strategy here. Down of a ball and 2 strikes. LeMaster at first with no one out. Stretched by Kuzman. They look at first. Comes to the plate. Andrews turns to bunt. Takes strike 3. Number 12 for Kuzman. Now let's see what will happen. Now they're going to have Cruz bat instead of Madlock. Cruz will now bat. You would think that maybe now that Andrews didn't improve the situation, that they would have Blue just come up to sacrifice, keep him in the game. But strikes, and Cruz will come up to bat. They were going to have Madlock bat. Babe, being Joe Aldebelli, was going to have Madlock bat if Andrews sacrificed the runner over, but he did not do it. So Cruz come up here to bat with a runner at first, throw to first base, Lemaster back in. Thought that after Andrews struck out, they might have Blue try to sacrifice Lemaster over and keep Vita in the game. Cruz pops it into center field, medium deep, and it will be caught by Maddox. 2 men are down. Larry Herndon, who is 0 for 3, has a sacrifice fly. Two men down, and Kuzman's pitch to Herndon. Bounce it to shortstop. Easy play for Foley. Lob to second, and the Giants are retired in the ninth. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left on. Not only the Giants not score, but Vita Blues out of the game. We go to the bottom of the ninth that is tied at 2.
A federal judge Monday dismissed 3 separate suits seeking $7 million damages against the operators of the charter plane that crashed on December 13th, killing 29 persons, including the University of Evansville basketball team. The suits were filed on behalf of the estates of 3 of the University of Evansville basketball players killed in the crash. The entire Aces team and coach Bobby Watson died when a plane chartered from National Jet Service Incorporated failed to reach flying altitude after takeoff and crashed at Evansville. The suits were filed on behalf of relatives of players Steve Miller, Michael Joyner, and John Ed Washington. Miller's wife, Vicki, was plaintiff in one suit, while Robert Joyner and John A. Washington, fathers of the other players, were the other plaintiffs. Federal Judge James Nolan said the suits, as amended, no longer belonged under the jurisdiction of his court. But Nolan said amended briefs indicated other actions would likely be brought under the Federal Claims Act.
Randy Moffett comes on to do the Giant pitching, and Moffett has already established himself as the number 5 pitcher in number of appearances in Giant history. With 393, will make his 394th. Moffett coming to the mound for the 56th time in this 1978 season. Vita Blue goes 8 innings, 2 runs, 7 hits, struck out 1, and walked 2. Now Moffett has to get the Mets here in the bottom of the 9th inning to send it to the 10th. The Giants' only hope is to go to extra innings. Randy loosening up will pitch to Stearns, Youngblood, and Randall. Stearns, who's celebrating his 27th birthday today, has doubled and scored a run, is lined out and grounded out, bat against Vita Blue. Moffett says he's ready to go. Throw to second base, and Stearns will step in. Stearns 1 for 3, Youngblood 1 for 3, a triple, and Randall 1 for 2, a single. He also has a walk. Those are 3 slated against Randy Moffett here in the bottom of the 9th inning. St. Louis leading 13-6 over Cincinnati in the bottom of the 7th. San Diego, Philadelphia game over yet? That was 7-3 going to the bottom of the 9th, San Diego. Stearns runs up to try to bunt for a base hit, is almost hit by the pitch. A fastball inside for ball 1. Stearns is going to try to bunt his way on with Evans playing back at third base. Evans does not come up. The 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball, a strike, 1-1. Pitch on the way, grounded, foul ball, past third. Montreal defeated the Dodgers 4-2. The Giants have a chance of gaining a game if they can hang on here in the bottom of the 9th and go to the 10th. One and 2 count to catcher John Stearns. Infield backed up, the outfield deep. And Moffitt, 1-2 pitch. Grounded to the right side. Andrews on the edge of the grass has it. Throws to first. Gets him. Good play by Rob. Going to his left to field that one on the edge of the outfield grass and throw out Stearns for the first out. Now Joel Youngblood tripled, struck out, grounded out. 1 out, bases empty. If the game goes to the 10th, it will be Evans, Clark, and Ivy for the Giants. Giants home Friday night. Pitch high for a ball. Friday night against Montreal, the Giants. Kevin Coble, a left-hander, throws in the bullpen for the Mets. Fastball fouled back, and it's 1-1. Friday night against Montreal, and Saturday and a doubleheader Sunday against the Expos. Reminder that you can make your reservations calling the Giants ticket office at Candlestick Park. And charge your reservations on your Bank of America Visa or Master Charge. Foul to the screen, strike 2, 1-2. Moffitt going with fastballs here. Generally, big pitch is a slider, but he has been going at the right-hand batting Youngblood with fastballs. 1-2 count. The 1-2 pitch. There's a slider, and he struck him out. Moffitt gets the first 2 men, and now Len Randall, who has singled, walked, and grounded out. Randall will come up the bat left-handed. As a left-hand batter, hitting .230, as a right-hand batter, .243. He has his only home run as a left-hand batter, and that came against the Giants, Montefusco, here at Shea Stadium. Pitch on the way to Randall. Outside for a ball. Montreal has defeated the Dodgers. St. Louis on its way towards beating Cincinnati, leading 13-6. Bounce to first base, off McCovey's glove, and Randall will be safe. Sharply hit ball. McCovey going to his right, couldn't handle it. And Randall is safe at first. Now it will bring up Doug Flynn. Be an error charged to McCovey. Randall at first. Randall with 11 stolen bases and 20 tries. Mets don't have that much to lose by sending him. If they do, they might steal the winning run. If Randall can steal second, then all they need is a base hit from Flynn. Flynn has no home runs and 27 RBIs. Is 2 for 3 in this one and lined out the only time he made out. Randall at first. Throw to first by Moffitt. Not in time. Randall back in. 2 out, a runner on. Randall gets his lead. He bluffs, doesn't go. Bouncing ball to deep short. Master's going to have to hurry. His throw in time. He got it. Johnny playing excellent shortstop. No runs, no hits. 1 error, 1 left. And at the end of 9, the score is tied at 2.
Totals on the Dodgers-Montreal game will have details coming up very shortly for the Expos 4.
Jack Clark bunts it in the air, but foul out of play behind the plate. 0-1. The 13 strikeouts by Jerry Koosman equals the season high in the National League. Tom Seaver had 13 strikeouts. Craig Swan of the Mets also had 13. And J.R. Richard of the Astros had 13 in one game. Now Koosman joins a lot. Clark in this game is 2 for 4. He has hit the ball extremely hard. 2 times he has made out. Robbed of extra bases on a couple of fine defensive plays. Here's the pitch on the way. Clark swings and he tops it foul into the Giant dugout. Sanders 0-2. Swung at a breaking pitch there. One away in the 10th inning. In a 2-2 game. Left-hander ready. The 0-2 pitch. Line drive, base hit, right field. Clark is 3 for 5, and the potential lead run is on the bases. That'll bring up Mike Ivy. Ivy, who started this game, is 0 for 4. Maybe what he ought to do is pretend he's coming off the bench right now as a pinch hitter. Left-hander ready. Kuzman goes to first, and Clark is back in. Clark has had some very interesting times on the base paths in the past 3 or 4 games. Dale Murray warming up in the Met pen. Again, Kuzman goes to first. Too late. So Clark in the game is 3 for 5. Ivy is 0 for 4, and a chance to be a hero once again. Willie McCovey waits on deck. The Mets infield plays at double play dead. Here's a pitch. Breaking ball off speed pitch is a little bit high. Ball 1. Mike with 9 homers and 42 RBIs on the year. And a total of 8 game-winning. Maybe what he ought to do is pretend he's coming off the bench right now as a pinch hitter. Left-hander ready. Kuzman goes to first, and Clark is back in. Clark has had some very interesting times on the base paths in the past 3 or 4 games. Dale Murray warming up in the Met pen. Again, Kuzman goes to first. Too late. So Clark in the game is 3 for 5. Ivy is 0 for 4, and a chance to be a hero once again. Willie McCovey waits on deck. The Mets infield plays at double play dead. Here's a pitch. Breaking ball off speed pitch is a little bit high. Ball 1. Mike with 9 homers and 42 RBIs on the year. And a total of 8 game-winning RBIs. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Is taken for a called strike on the inside. Ivy not at all happy with that call. Spins around, questions John Kibler with a glance. Now back in. Kuzman ready. And the pitch. Swing and a foul ball. That one grounded foul off of Ivy's foot into the Giant dugout. Well, Kuzman in front of Ivy at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ivy has struck out once in the game and has a couple of groundouts and was safely aboard on an error in the first inning. Here's a pitch. Loop towards second base. That'll be caught by Doug Flynn. And Clark goes back to first. Kuzman jamming Ivy, and Mike tried to muscle it out to right field, but he couldn't do it. So 2 down. That'll bring up Willie McCovey, who is 1 for 4, with a couple of strikeouts and a ground out. San Diego defeated Philadelphia 7-3. Gaylord Perry won his 15th game of the season. So the first, Clark is back in. 2 down in the 10th inning in a 2-2 game. In the bottom of the inning, the Mets will send up the pitching spot. Then Maddox and then Foley. Again a throw to first. On deck is Hill. McCovey waiting. Willie with 12 homers and 62 RBIs. 63 now. Had an RBI single in the first inning. Again a throw to first. Clark is back in. The outfield playing McCovey deep and around to the right. Randall backed up behind third. Foley over about 4 steps to the left of second base. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball is inside. San Diego beat the Phillies 7-3. Houston leading Chicago 8-3 in the 8th inning. St. Louis over Cincinnati 13-6. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, a swing and a miss. Clark goes to second, and he's in there with a stolen base. Clark getting himself into scoring position, stealing second on a head-first dive. A good throw by John Stern. A good tag by Foley, but Clark, with the head-first dive, able to get a hand on the bag before the tag. Oh, Clark with a big stolen base. McCovey to count on him is 1-1. Clark might have been shaken up. Now he got dirty. He got dirt in his eyes and all over his face. So he will clean up. Clark stealing his 11th base. He has been caught 7 times. Now a single might give the Giants a 1-run lead. McCovey was able to come up with that single in the first inning as he drove in a run with 2 outs. St. Louis-Cincinnati game is now in the 9th inning. The Cardinals batting. They lead the Reds 13-6. And as Lon mentioned, the Expos defeated the Dodgers by a score of 4-2. The Giants a chance to pick up a game here. San Diego, the Padres now only 7 games off the pace in the Western Division. Cincinnati stays 3 back if they go on to lose to St. Louis. Giants could pull to within 1. No matter what Reggie Smith says of the Dodgers, no matter what he says, the Padres have to be considered in the race, as they only trail by 7 games now. 1-1 on McCovey. Clark at second with 2 down in the 10th inning, all tied up at 2-2. Left-hander against left-hander. Kuzman ready, checking Clark. And the pitch on the way. In there for a call, strike at the knees. McCovey looked at it. Whatever it is that Kuzman has been throwing up there, the Giants have been mesmerized. In front of McCovey now at 1-2. Left-hander ready. The stretch and the pitch. Fouled away by McCovey. Had a good rip at it, but he got under it and fouled it away. Count stays at a ball and 2 strikes. Giants are hoping to end a 2-game losing streak. They lost the final 2 in Philadelphia after winning the opener. They have not played well. They go to first. Clark is out at second base. On a pickoff play, Clark is tagged out at second base by Foley. Kuzman spinning and throwing, and Clark unable to get back in. And once again, Jack Clark is caught sleeping on the bases. Clark had better wake up, or the Giants might suffer, and really suffer. So the Giants, with a chance to take the lead here, wind up with nothing. No runs on 1 hit, no errors except a mental error, and no one left on base. We go to the bottom of the 10th inning. It's all tied up at 2-2. Go to the bottom of the 10th inning. Well, Jack Clark has really had his problems on the bases. That's 2 or 3, maybe 4 times now that he has been picked off the bases somehow with McCovey at the plate. Did it there, did it a couple of times against the Phillies. Can't afford to do that in a pennant chase like this. McCovey, a big man up there, especially in RBI situations. He had come through earlier in the first inning with 2 outs, an RBI single. And here in the 10th inning, Randy Moffett will pitch to Bruce Beauclair, coming up to hit for the pitcher, Jerry Kuzman. Beauclair, left-hand batter, takes low, ball 1. So Kuzman goes 10 innings, gives up only 2 runs on a total of 8 Giant hits. He had 13 strikeouts. He walked only 2. Moffett pitching to Bruce Beauclair, the pinch batter in the bottom of the 10th inning. Gets a called strike on the outside, 1-1. Beauclair, a batting average of .239 with 3 home runs and 14 RBIs. Right-hander against left-hander. Moffett winds and delivers. This is high and outside. 2-1. Beauclair, the pinch batter, is 10 for 42 this season. 1 RBI. Here's a pitch. Popped up, shallow left center field. Ivy racing in, waiting under it. He's got it, and Beauclair is the first out in the 10th inning. That's a big one. That'll bring up Elliot Maddox. It's always very important, especially in extra innings, to get that first batter. Maddox, 1 for 4 against Vida Blue, facing Moffett for the first time in the game. His only hit against Vida was a single in the first inning. Here's the pitch, a slider low and away, backhanded by Hill. 1-0. 2-2 game. Giants have out-hit the Mets 8-7. The Mets have out-third the Giants 3-2. Here's the pitch. Bouncing ball, base hit left field. Lemaster running to his right, unable to come up with it. Hit in between Evans and Lemaster, and the single by Elliot Maddox will bring up Tim Foley. Hit number 8 for the Mets. Foley will not hit. Lee Mazzilli will come up to hit for Tim Foley. Foley, while he was in there, was 1 for 4. He had a single, also lined out, popped out, and hit into a double play. Lee Mazzilli, who has been hurt And it's a major reason why he's not in there in center field. He has been hampered by injuries. He will come up to pinch hit. Mazzilli, a switch batter, is hitting .252 as a left-hander, hitting .274 as a right-hander. Overall, he has a batting average of .259 with 12 home runs and 48 RBIs. 8 of his home runs have been as a left-hand batter. As a pinch batter, Mazzilli this season is 0 for 3. So Moffitt will try to get him to hit the ball on the ground. Mazzilli, very difficult to double up. He's extremely quick. But the Giants will play the infield at double play depth. Evans will play up shallow at third on the edge of the infield grass. The outfield deep and straight away. McCovey plays on the bag, holding Maddox close. Bottom of the 10th inning in a 2-2 game. Moffitt ready. The stretch now backs off. Here's a pitch. Bouncing ball, foul by McCovey at first base. Had that one been fair, it would have bounced over McCovey's head. But he pulled it foul, and the count is 0-1. Mazzilli, in 432 at-bats, has struck out 70 times. Looking into the hit-and-run possibilities. Maddox getting his lead at first. Moffitt says yes to a sign. The right-hander ready, goes to first, and Maddox is back in. Elliott has only 2 stolen bases. His percentage is horrendous. He is 2 for 11 in the stolen base department. Has a very short lead. Here's the pitch. Is outside. 1-1. Giants on defense in the 10th inning with Evans, LeMaster, Andrews, and McCovey. Hill behind the plate. Ivy, Herndon, and Clark in the outfield. Clark has had a very interesting game. 3 hits. But he's been picked off on the bases. Here's the pitch again. A breaking ball is in there for a strike call. 1-2. Moffitt out in front. Good idea there. Now Moffitt can try to make Mazzilli hit his pitch. Maybe get him to go for a bad one and hit the ball on the ground somewhere. Maybe right at somebody. 10th inning. 2-2 game. Don't go away. If we go to the 11th inning, the Giants will send up McCovey, Hill, and LeMaster. Moffitt goes to first, and Maddox again back in. Giants got 1 in the first and 1 in the second. The Mets got their 2 in the second. The game has been scoreless since. Moffitt ready. Here's the pitch. Check swing. Did he go through? They should appeal. Looks like he might have swung. They will appeal at third and don't get the call. Frank Foley says no, he held up. Moffitt dealt him a good breaking ball, and Mazzilli somehow able to hold up on the swing. Count is 2-2. Mazzilli back in. Moffitt ready at the mound. There's the stretch. And the 2-2 pitch. Got him looking. A strike called on the outside corner. Mazzilli turns and stares at John Kibler. Well, he has no beef coming at all because the previous pitch looked like it was in there anyway, and he got a break on the check swing, and that also looked like a good pitch. So Moffitt getting his second strikeout, a big one here. Now Steve Henderson will bat. Henderson against Vida Blue was 0 for 3 with a walk. He also had a stolen base. Henderson had a batting average of .278, 9 home runs, 55 RBIs. Maddox at first. Moffitt ready. Here's the pitch. Slider. Off the end of the bat, grounded foul down the first base line. The ball rolling towards the Met dugout. It's 0-1. Ken Griffey has hit a 2-run homer in the 9th inning, his second of the game. Foster has also hit one for Cincinnati. But the Cardinals had a big lead. They led 13-6 going to the 9th inning. The Reds have come up with at least 3 in the ninth to make it 13-9. Here's a pitch. Fly ball lifted down the right field line. It is drifting and landing in the seats as Clark gave it a chase, but had no room. The Cardinals led by a score of 14-6 going to the bottom of the ninth inning. Is that a final now? So it is at least 14-9 now, with the Reds still batting in the bottom of the ninth inning of Cincinnati. Now the count on Steve Henderson is 0-2. Moffitt will go for the strikeout here. Take no chance. Goes to first. Maddox back in. Moffitt has to be careful. They might send Maddox. Maybe try to steal the run here in the 10th inning. Right-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball gets away from Hill, and Maddox goes to second. The bouncing ball, it was in the dirt. Mark was able to get a glove on the ball and knock it down, but it rolled away from him. Rolled about 10 feet to his left, and now Maddox is in scoring position. Joe Altobelli coming out to argue with plate umpire John Kibler. I really have no idea what Altobelli is arguing about. Might be arguing that Henderson didn't get out of Hill's way as he went after the ball. The ball rolled under Henderson's feet. Hill went after it, and by the time he came up with it, Maddox had second easily. Now a base hit might give the Mets a victory. That will be ruled a wild pitch. Altobelli's still out there arguing with John Kibler, the plate umpire. Here he's arguing that Henderson didn't get out of the way. But to no avail. Houston defeated Chicago 8-3. The Cubs in the loss column. The Phillies also lost. Now that Phillies able to maintain a 3-game lead in the Eastern Division. Right now, Moffitt to work on Steve Henderson with a 1-2 count, and Maddox at second base in the bottom of the 10th inning. Right-hander ready. There's a stretch. And the 1-2 pitch. Got him on swing. Good breaking ball. A slider, a swing, and a miss. Moffitt with his third strikeout. And we will go to the 11th inning. Here in the 10th, the Mets with no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. End of 10. It's a 2-2 game. In the 11th inning is Kevin Coble. Wait a minute.
Yes, all right.
Wait a minute.
I don't have time. We got to get it.
Here with a play-by-play as Willie McCovey comes up to home plate. Here's Lon Simmons. Go ahead, Lon. Take it over.
Sergio Ferrer goes in to play shortstop. And doing the pitching is left-hander Kevin Coble. Coble, 2-3 record, a 2.18 earned run average. His 21st appearance. Delivers to McCovey a strike, 1-1. Kuzman went 10 innings, 2 runs on 8 hits, struck out 13. McCovey fouls it back, and the count is 1-2. 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch. Swung on line drive, base hit, center field. Going over to field it is a center fielder, Maddox. McCovey singled. Giants have a leadoff single. Mark Hill will be the batter, and McCovey will lead for a pinch runner. Whitfield goes in as a pinch runner, which means that Terry will not be able to swing a bat. So Whitfield is out as a potential pinch batter in this inning. If the Mets should go to a right-hander, Whitfield goes in to be the runner. And Mark Hill, the batter, turns to bunt, takes outside for a ball. Throw to first and almost thrown away by Coble. Montes had to go up over the top of Whitfield to take that throw. We're in the 11th. It is tied at 2. Hill had squared the bunt on the first pitch. He turns the bunt, bunts it out in front of the mound. Coble throws the second, not in time. And Hill is safe at first. Ferrer taking the throw, but Whitfield beats the throw to second. Whitfield is at second, Hill at first. Now Hill at first base and Whitfield at second. There will probably be a pinch runner for Hill. LeMaster up here to bat. Well, that is a fielder's, I guess they'll give him a sacrifice on it and a fielder's choice. Runners at first and second with no one out. LeMaster, the scheduled batter. Joe Torrey comes out of the Mets dugout and they all converge on the mound. Dale Murray starts to throw again in the bullpen. And now Torrey leaves and they will stay with Coble. At least to pitch to Don LeMaster. Coble, who had been a high school coach without a baseball for a couple of years, brought back this year by the Mets, has done a very good job for him. First and second. Hill at first. Whitfield at second. And LeMaster up here. Randall crowds up at third. Montes at first. LeMaster is going to try to make Randall field the ball. Bunts it down third base line. It's a good bunt. Randall coming into field. His throw is just in time. And the ball almost knocked out of the glove of Flynn covering first base as LeMaster got there just about the same time as the throw. Fine sacrifice by LeMaster. They put out from 5 to 4, and LeMaster almost knocked the ball out of Flynn's hands. Hill at second and Whitfield at third, and Rob Andrews the batter. Rob has one hit, an infield hit, has grounded out, walked, and struck out. Randy Moffett due up next. The Mets bring the infield in. And Andrews up here to bat. Stretch by Coble, the pitch to Andrews. Swung on, fly ball to short right field. Coming on is the right fielder, can't get it. It falls down, it bounces by him. One run scores, Hill heading for the plate, he'll score. Andrews is heading for third, he'll be in at third. And it's a triple for Andrews. Youngblood chasing that ball, a short pop fly, slipped and fell. The ball hit in front of him, bounced over his head. And it'll be a triple, maybe, for Andrews, maybe a double. They might give him a double and let him go to third on the throw, although he was running all the way. I would have to feel it would be a triple. The Giants lead. Bill Madlock is going to bat, and they're going to walk Madlock. This happened to the Giants in Chicago, you'll recall. There's a pitch, almost a wild pitch, when Moffett was taken out with a 2-run lead, and the Giants couldn't hold it. Now they're going to walk Madlock, batting for Moffett. Madlock is given the free transportation. He goes to first, and Larry Herndon will be the batter. Now there will be a runner for Madlock. Montefusco coming in to run for Madlock. We'll pause for station identification. This is the Golden West Radio Network.
This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
Donna Fusco to be the runner for Matlock. And Herndon, who is hitless tonight, but does have a sacrifice fly, will be up here. So Rob Andrews with a bloop triple to right. That was going to score 1 run. Pitch to Herndon is almost a wild pitch. Oh. St. Louis defeated Cincinnati 14-9. Martinez the winner, Bonham the loser. Coble's pitch to Herndon. Swung on grounded, foul past third. Breaking ball, and Herndon fouled it off. Pitch misses to Herndon for ball 2. 2-1. A single by McCovey. Whitfield running for McCovey. Hill pitch. Herndon bounces it foul off his foot. And it's 2-2. Then Hill sacrificing, and when Coble threw to second, it was too late to get Whitfield, so runners at first and second. Lemaster sacrificed him over and almost beat out his sacrifice bunt. Then Andrews popped one into short right field that bounced past the right fielder for a triple. And Matlock, coming in as a pinch batter, walked intentionally. Double play ball to shortstop. The throw to second for 1, to first, a double play. Herndon hits into a double play, and the Giants settle for the 2 that they get. 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors, and leave 2 runners stranded. We go to leave 1 runner stranded. We go to the bottom of the 11th. It is 4-2 Giants. Gary Lavelle will come in to do the pitching. Terry Whitfield remains in the game to play left field, and Mike Ivey comes in to play first base. The Giants have Whitfield, Herndon, and Clark in the outfield. Evans, Lemaster, Andrews, and Ivey in the infield. And Hill catching. Gary Lavelle coming on to pitch for the 52nd time this year. He is 110, lost 9, has a 2.96 earned run average, and has 11 saves. The gendarmes are trying to hustle somebody out of the stadium. Willie Montes will lead off against Gary Lavelle. It'll be Montes, Stearns, and Youngblood. Montes, the lone left-hand batter. Moffett stands to win it if Lavelle can save it. 4 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors for the Giants. 2 runs, 8 hits, and 3 errors for the Mets. Bottom of the 11th. And the pitch to Montes. Ball 1. Fastball inside. Moffett gave up just 1 hit while he was in there, struck out 3. Strike call, the fastball good on the inside, 1-1. Montes questioning the call, John Kibler. Now Montes backs away. If Lavelle had been ready, they could have quick pitched Montes because he had not called time and he was talking to Kibler. Lavelle could have just thrown the ball over the plate and got a strike out of it. Bounce to shortstop. Lemaster has to back up and takes a bad hop, but he fields it, throws to first, and gets him. Lemaster backing up on that ball as he couldn't charge it, and then it hit a spike mark and took a bad hop, but John stayed with it and threw him out at first base. 1 man down, and now John Stearns, the catcher, doubled, lined out, grounded out, and then grounded out again. 1 man down in the bottom of the 11th. 4-2, the Giants lead. Lemaster's pitch. Stearns takes the fastball strike, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Nothing in 2 count. Nothing in 2 count. And the 0-2 pitch on the way. Fouled away by Stearns. Stays at 0-2. Lavelle trying to save it for the Giants and for Moffett. Giants scored single runs in the first 2 innings, and the Mets tied it in the bottom of the 2nd. Popped up to Andrews. Waiting, makes the catch. Out number 2. Andrews almost dropped that ball. It almost popped out of his glove. And with 2 down now, it will be Joel Youngblood. Youngblood tripled in the second inning to drive in a run and scored one. Youngblood caught in between on Andrews' pop fly. It was going to score a run because it was going to drop in for a base hit, but then when he tried to stop, when he saw he couldn't catch it, his feet slid out from under him. The ball bounced over his head. Andrews got a triple and 2 runs scored. Pitch high to Youngblood for ball 1. 1-0. 2 down, bases empty. Bottom of the 11th, Giants lead 4-2. Montreal beat the Dodgers. Swing and a miss. It's 1-1. St. Louis beats Cincinnati. Houston beats the Cubs, and San Diego beats Philadelphia. 1-1 count to Youngblood. The 1-1 pitch to it. Pop foul out of play. It's 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes. Detroit leads by a score of 9-3 over Minnesota after 7. Baltimore and Oakland 0-0 after 1. 9-5 it is now in the top of the 9th. Detroit batting. Baltimore and Oakland 0-0 after an inning. Here it's 4-2 Giants, bottom of the 11th. And Lavell's pitch, beaten foul to the left side. Giants a 10-6 in extra inning game. Lavelle and Hill chat briefly. Mets are 7-14 in extra inning game. Count a ball and 2 strikes here in the 11th. 2 out, bases empty. Oh, where was that pitch? 2-2. Youngblood took a pitch, and Hill just sits there with his head down. Mark looking down at the ground, reluctant to give a sign. Now does the 2-2 pitch. Popped up into center field. Should be it. Herndon is waiting for this one. Waiting, has it, and the Giants have won it. Nothing across for the Mets in the 9th. The Giants win it by a score of 4-2.
And so the Giants are the only team of the 2 behind the Dodgers, close behind, to pick up some ground. San Diego in 4th place picked up from 8th place, 8 games back to 7. The Dodgers lose to the Montreal Expos. The Giants win, and the Reds get blasted by the Cardinals. So the Giants are now just 1 game out of 1st place in the National League West. The Reds are still 3. San Diego trails by 7 games. Before we go, here's the final in the game in the American League at Bloomington, Minnesota. Rookie Lance Parrish drove in 6 runs with a grand slam homer and a triple. John Walkenfuss belted a 2-run homer, and Ron LaFleur tied an American League record with his 26th consecutive stolen base Monday night to spark the Detroit Tigers to a 9-6 victory over the Minnesota Twins. Jack Billingham, 14-5, allowed 13 hits in the 7 innings he worked to notch his 9th straight win. His last loss came on June 26th. John Hillard came on in the 8th inning after a 2-run single by Willie Norwood. Well, this broadcast was authorized under rights granted by the San Francisco Giants and New York Mets. It was intended solely for the entertainment of the AFRTS listening audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the description, accounts of this game without the express written permission of the Giants and Mets is prohibited. In our thanks to Giant broadcasters Lion Simmons and Joe Angel for their report from the ballpark at Shea Stadium in New York.